Welcome to the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series.
Rivalry weekend begins in earnest in Chapel Hill, North Carolina on a gorgeous Friday afternoon, and a lot at stake for two teams that do not like each other very much and have a ton to play for this afternoon to get us going on Rivalry weekend. North Carolina and North Carolina State from Chapel Hill. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. As we talked about, plenty at stake for both of these teams in the 106th meeting all-time between NC State and North Carolina. The Wolfpack need to win today to get to a bowl game. They are 5-6. They've had chances all season long to win big games, but Dave Doran's team still one win away from bowl eligibility. Meanwhile, Larry Fedora's crew needs a win today, and they need Virginia Tech at home to lose to Virginia. That will clinch a second straight ACC Coastal Division championship, and that will lock in a rematch against Clemson in the ACC title game. And with all of that on Rivalry weekend, this is no rival of mine. Adam Amin, Mac Brown, Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. But speaking of this matchup, you coached in this matchup for 10 years. You know what's unique to this particular game.
23 miles apart, don't like each other very much. It affects recruiting. It affects bragging rights. All of your boosters have to go see the NC State or the UNC guy in their office on Monday and say, how'd it go? How'd you like our team? And the other guy doesn't show up that week, Adam.
Yeah.
It's important to beat your rival. Fun day of football.
Now, Mac Brown was part of this, as we said. You guys actually lost your first 5. But then when you guys really started to crank things up, they won the next 5 in this rivalry matchup. And 10 of those 105 meetings all time coming in, 66, 33, and 6. Since 1919, these teams have met each year except for 4 times. 3 times during World War II era and 1 time in 1952 when there was a polio outbreak on the Chapel Hill campus. But these two teams, very important game today, and they've got a lot to play for. When we talked with Dave Doran yesterday, he told us for his team, which is a 2-score underdog, they got to get back to basics. It sounds like some coach speak, but this is exactly what he pointed to us to try to win this game.
Yes, you got to run the ball to be effective. You got to limit your turnovers, and you got to put pressure on Trubisky. The North Carolina quarterback can't let him stand back there and have time to throw because he's just too accurate.
And Mitch Trubisky all of a sudden is shooting up draft boards as of the last couple of months. His accuracy is tremendously efficient. Why do you like him?
Well, I like him. He's tall. He stands tall in the pocket. He's confident. He is so accurate. He is your prototypical pro quarterback. But this is also his team. He's taken over with leadership, and I like what I see out of this young man on the field.
He is closing in on the all-time single-season passing record already. Remember, he's a first-time starter for this North Carolina offense. An emotional day, as you can imagine. Rivalry day, senior day. Molly McGrath has more on the field.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. There is no love lost between Elijah Hood and the Wolfpack. The Tar Heels running back telling me, I hate NC State. There's a lot of animosity between these two teams. We really just don't like each other. Now, Hood's message to the rest of his running backs is be as physical as possible, run angry, and use your tempo to wear down their defense bit by bit. Now, senior wide receiver Ryan Switzer told me that a fast start is necessary in an emotional game like this, admitting that keeping his emotions in check will be the biggest challenge for him on this senior day. And Switzer and the rest of the seniors personally voted on wearing these all-black jerseys for this rivalry game, just the 2nd time in program history that they've worn all-black, guys.
On Black Friday, Molly, and we hope we can help you sitting at home nurse your turkey hangover with a big day of college football leading into Ohio State and Michigan on Saturday at noon on ABC as well. North Carolina State won the toss and deferred, and TJ Logan, the dangerous return man, will be avoided by the North Carolina State kicking unit, and instead Rontavious Groves gets hit shy of the 20-yard line by Freddie Phillips Jr. So as we mentioned, Mitch Trubisky closing in on several single-season records as a first-year starter who had to step in for Marquise Williams, 9th in the country in efficiency, 5th in the country in completion percentage. He's had 2 of the top 4 passing games in North Carolina history, and his team needs him to have a big performance today.
And you would love to get out to a quick start against your rival, because it just sends a message, guys, we are ready to play today.
We'll start this drive from the 16-yard line, beginning the 106th meeting all time between Carolina and NC State. And Trubisky seeking space and a good run on first down to the 23-yard line. He'll pick up 7 on first down. Larry Fedora, in his 5th season as the head coach of North Carolina, has done a fantastic job, especially the last couple of years, of getting this Carolina offense going. And Trubisky has slid right in to the quarterback position left by Williams and has picked up right where Williams left off. Option play, and on first down here is Elijah Hood, who had a big game against NC State last year. He's got the first down, pounded out at the 28 by Dravius Wright, the nickelback in North Carolina State's 4-2-5 defense.
Adam, we've had 2 plays and 2 runs. Trubisky hurt him with the feet. Fedora's doing such a tremendous job, and he said this week, we're going to come out and run the ball and be physical.
Put in the backfield on first down and 10 from the 28-yard line. Off the play action fake, Trubisky off his back foot for Switzer, and it's overthrown with the coverage of Josh Jones, one of the better defensive players for North Carolina State. In coverage, Mac on this side of the ball, who sticks out to you?
A running back, Elijah Hood's fast. He's powerful. He can take over a game. In fact, he had 220 yards last year against this NC State team. Bradley Chubb, big defensive end, move from linebacker. He's got linebacker speed and quickness. He's really quick off the ball, has lateral movement. He'll be putting pressure on Trubisky all day.
So it's Switzer in motion, a read option, and Trubisky slips a tackle. And Mitch Trubisky, a big-bodied quarterback, all the way down inside the North Carolina State 40-yard line. It's a 34-yard run for Mitch Trubisky, closing in on a career long.
This is zone read. They had a little motion to get some eyes out of the way, and they lost eye discipline on defense. Trubisky's not normally a runner. 2 of the first 3 plays, he runs the ball.
And another play action fake, and running away from his arm side, an NFL throw to the sideline, caught by Bug Howard. He'll pick up 4 yards as he was submarined by Wright.
Really interesting 3 straight runs at him. Then we have a little run pass fake where you fake it off tackle. Quarterback moves out to the side. North Carolina's hitting on all cylinders here early in this ball game.
And to the sideline went Wright, getting checked out after that play for North Carolina State. This is a top 40 scoring offense for North Carolina this year. And Larry Fedora has put together 3 of the best offensive seasons in North Carolina history in his tenure already. On the ground, it's Hood picking up a couple of yards, and that'll set up a manageable 3rd down and medium situation as Monty Nelson made the stop.
And there's some head games early in this game, because when you're talking about the defensive front of NC State, they're really, really good. They're first in the ACC against the run. They're 4th in the country. These guys are strong up front, and North Carolina is saying, we're going to take you at your strength and beat you at it by running the ball.
North Carolina 2nd in the conference in converting on 3rd down, but Trubisky sees pressure, and down he goes. The front of North Carolina State has been a strength, led by B.J. Hill and Justin Jones on the inside.
It always concerns you as an offensive coordinator when they can rush 4. Had a little game inside when they had a little X stunt with the 2 inside guys, but they both get to the quarterback. Really good stop by NC State.
And that likely takes them out of Nick Weiler's long field goal range. So Tom Sheldon, the 28-year-old freshman from Australia, the left-footed punter, will kick away. No return on this one as it goes towards the sidelines near the 10-yard line and out of bounds. So Sheldon will pin North Carolina State deep. And now it's time for North Carolina State's offense to take the field. Ranked 9th in the ACC in scoring. And Ryan Finley, the transfer from Boise State. He's such an interesting case because he graduated college in 3 years at Boise State, but never really got a chance to play much because of a lot of injuries, plus a redshirt year. So he's a graduate sophomore who's a first-time starter.
Yes, I talked to Brian Harsin. He hurt his shoulder. He redshirted. He hurt a shoulder. Then he broke an ankle and just never had an opportunity to play. So even though he is a graduate and he's been around for a while, he's still growing up and learning all of the things in and out about the NC State offense.
Eli Drinkwitz was with Brian Harsin at Boise State. He was with Finley. He's now the offensive coordinator for Finley at North Carolina State. Off play action on first down. Ryan Finley arching one, and it's overthrown. Looking for Maurice Troel, a redshirt sophomore out of nearby Durham, North Carolina.
And when we talked to Drinkwitz this week, the offensive coordinator, over at NC State. He said we've got to run the ball, but we've got to win at least 50% of our deep throws. They're 0 for 1 on that one. He had a chance. Got to complete those deep ones.
So Finley checks out of the game, and Jalen McClendon, who did a very good job running the football as a Wildcat quarterback in the Hurricane Matthew game against Notre Dame, is on the field. He can throw the ball a little bit too, and he'll swing it out for Matt Days. He is scary in space, and Matt Days has the first down out across the 25. Run down by Dominique Green after 18 yards.
It looked like North Carolina had it covered. They had a guy on the flare, but he was a little bit deeper. It was a really, really good throw. They had the end dropping off, and Carney just didn't take the right angle to the ball.
Malik Carney, that's 53 off the edge, went too far inside and lost Matt Days. So fresh set of downs and back to the ground for Matt Days. We showed you that graphic. 21 of the last 24 meetings between these two teams, the winner has had more rushing yards. Last year, North Carolina outrushed NC State 374 to 308. Still a pretty good day for Dave Doran's team. The year before that, in an NC State blowout win, they rushed for 388.
Sounds like coach speak, but it really works, Adam.
It's funny when coach speak actually translates, as it often does, right?
Well, that's why coaches use it.
That's why coaches use it, exactly. On 2nd and 5, quick throw to Days in the flat, and a good catch at the 41 for a first down with a linebacker and Andre Smith covering. 7 yards to move the sticks. Good rhythm on both offenses so far. A pretty good catch by Matt Days.
That's a very good catch. He is as good a receiver out of the backfield as they have.
This is a backwards pass for Jalen Samuels, and it's caught. He's going to go. Stephon Lewis. Jalen Samuels does it again. The Swiss Army knife with a 59-yard pass to Lewis. And North Carolina State's on the board first on the road.
Adam, Dave Doran told us they were come out and play free, have fun, because they've been so close. Quick throw out to Samuels. Samuels throws it deep, wide open receiver, and Luis goes easily in for the score. This is a nightmare start for Larry Fedora. Not what he wanted. He lost points with a sack on the other end, and now gives up a quick touchdown to NC State.
A team that is desperate for a win, needing a win to get to a bowl game. Connor Haskins on for the extra point. And a 7-0 start for North Carolina State, and it didn't take long. They call Samuels the Swiss Army knife. He can play fullback, he can play tight end, he can play tailback. And this time on the trick play, he finds the big play threat, Stephon Lewis. Wolfpack on top to start. 7-0 North Carolina State leads in Chapel Hill. We are experiencing some technical difficulties at Kenan Memorial Stadium right now. As soon as those are processed and fixed, we will take you right back to Chapel Hill. Currently a 7-0 North Carolina State lead on UNC.
All right, North Carolina State up 14-0 on North Carolina in their rivalry game. First quarter, we're having some technical difficulties with the broadcast. We will get you back out to Chapel Hill as soon as we get those difficulties sorted out. In the meantime, welcome into the studio. Hope you're enjoying the Thanksgiving weekend. Stan Verrett here, along with Mark May. So right now, keep you posted on that. North Carolina State up 14-0 on the heels.
Wow.
You surprised by this?
Well, yeah, absolutely. It's a rivalry game, and you can't. Everybody goes, "Oh, you throw the records out the window." This is the reason why. Even though you're not having a great season, guess what? North Carolina State, terrific job in this game right now. They're ready to play.
All right, we're back up and rolling in Chapel Hill. Let's send you back out to check out the game with Adam Amin and Mac Brown.
Stan, thank you so much. Sincerely apologize for any technical difficulties. Obviously, we appreciate you guys holding it down in studio. I know you missed Mac, but I'm happy to steal him on this Friday. What you've missed so far, it was a 7-0 North Carolina State lead, which you saw in that Jalen Samuels pass, the trick play to Stephon Lewis. Mitch Trubisky had a issue on a snap and a handoff on the mesh point on a zone read play. It was recovered by Bradley Chubb, and North Carolina State banged it in for a touchdown with Matt Days. UNC had a pass interference penalty give them a fresh set of downs on their last drive, but could not do anything with it in NC State territory. And after all of that, another UNC punt, and that's what you're looking at right now. Jalen Samuels running it for 8 yards, tackled by Cole Holcomb. So you are all caught up. It's a 14-0 lead right now for North Carolina State inside of 5 minutes to play for this first quarter, and we've been keeping an eye on this obviously the entire time. Are you surprised with a 14-0 start on the road for NC State?
Well, you're never surprised in a rivalry game, but NC State got nothing to lose. They're trying to get to a bowl game. They're playing free like their coach told us. They are running the ball. They've been the more physical team, Adam, in this first quarter. That's what the coach told us he wanted to do.
On first down, it's back to Matt Days on the ground with a spin move that will get his forward progress just past the 20, running into Andre Smith on a gain of 4.
You know, they're getting pressure on Trubisky with a 4-man rush so they can drop more people and play defense. And also they're running the ball on offense, which sets up play action pass deep. So right now, Carolina's got to get excited and turn this thing around.
Second down and 5 for Ryan Finley, the transfer from Boise State. And it is a give to Reggie Gillespie, and he's got the first down with the forward progress past the sticks to the 28-yard line. Again, if you missed some of this game due to our technical issues, again, we apologize. What's at stake for these two teams? Significantly important on both sides. North Carolina State needs to win this game to get to a bowl game for a third consecutive season. North Carolina needs to win this game, and they need Virginia Tech to lose against Virginia to make the ACC championship game. Gillespie again pounding his way across the 35 for 8 more yards to the 37-yard line. And NC State on offense, which at times has struggled this year. Dave Doran's crew has looked very sharp today.
When you can run the ball, it opens up everything else. You wanted to get a quick start to gain some confidence. NC State's done that.
Adam Amin, Mac Brown, Molly McGrath, our crew here in Chapel Hill. 106th meeting all time between North Carolina and NC State. A flea flicker for Finley, going downfield, and he's got a man. Cole Cook with a penalty marker thrown. Cook inside the 10-yard line. Will check the marker back at the 32-yard line.
Holding, number 86, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
A North Carolina State holding penalty will wipe this one out. Thaddeus Moss got tagged for it.
When a play takes that long, they've got a trick play, it worked. But when it takes so long that you got to try to run the ball up inside, have the tailback pitch it back, flea flickerish, and throw it deep, then what happens? You have to keep protection so long that a guy like a tight end who gets overpowered uses his hands and pulls him down. That's a huge penalty against NC State.
Would have been a 45-yarder for Cole Cook, who did not play in their loss to Miami. He is a big part of their running game and ended up being a big part of that pass on another trick play. Remember, Jalen Samuels on a double pass at a touchdown earlier in this quarter. So now it's second down and long for North Carolina State. Fake the jet sweep and dump it off into the flat. And Matt Days spinning off a tackle, and DJ Ford, making MJ Stewart, was able to shut down the play. Days still picked up 11 yards to set up a short situation on third down.
And if you're Dave Doran, you treat this like a bowl game because you don't have another game unless you win today. They're pulling out all the stops at them, and they're hitting on all cylinders on offense right now.
Big third down and 1 for Dave Doran's crew here. 42% on the season is 8th in the ACC. And a big hole opens up for a first down for Days. This guy's an underrated runner, came into this game 3rd in the conference in rushing behind Dalvin Cook and Lamar Jackson, 2 names that have been in the Heisman mix all year.
And 3 things are happening right now for NC State. They want to be physical. The more physical team they are. They're running the ball so well. And then they're staying on the field, and they needed time of possession. All of the things they wanted in this first drive they're getting, or first quarter they're getting.
This is an ideal first quarter offensively, really, for both sides for NC State. Here's Days, good blocking on the perimeter, and he turns it into a good first down run of 5, where Andre Smith was there for the stop for UNC, and he lost his helmet on the play. So Smith will have to come off the field for a play. He's their starting middle linebacker, and Aiden Bonilla, redshirt sophomore, will check in.
And Adam, sometimes I thought senior day was a negative. They're thinking about their dreams and all the time they've had here. Their parents are out there. They're crying before the game. I said, heck, win the game, cry after the game. Don't cry before. North Carolina got to wake up here.
Back to the ground, as it has been the case more often than not so far. Gillespie was chopped down by Cole Holcomb after a yard. That'll set up 3rd down and 4 here for North Carolina State in the final minute of this opening quarter, where they've gotten off to a fantastic start.
3rd and 4 here. You've got your backs, both in Samuels and Days, that can catch the ball out of the backfield. You might see the quarterback moving. You could see a screen. North Carolina bringing forward.
They brought the pressure on the look initially and then dropped it back, and it's incomplete. Looking for Braylon Cherry. Donnie Miles, one of the experienced secondary players, had the coverage on Finley's throw.
One of the concerns that the coaches have had with Finley is sometimes he gets a little anxious and he will not let the play develop. I thought he got that one out of his hands a little too quickly. So looking for a fake here.
Yep, A.J. Cole is back there. He's got a punt to the very dangerous Ryan Switzer. And he'll just overshoot him. It'll end up being a net punt of 31 yards. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. An outstanding start for North Carolina State on the road. They need a win to get to a bowl. North Carolina needs a win and some help to make the ACC championship game.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Pizza Hut. Bitter rivals agree. Pizza Hut wins. And Buick. It's Black Friday all month long at your Buick dealer.
They'll never admit it, but Michigan and Ohio State actually love each other.
That's love.
Game day, 5 hours long on ESPN, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern time from Columbus, and then right into number 2 against number 3, Ohio State and Michigan. Again, you know the scenarios. Michigan win, they get into the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State wins, then Penn State needs a win against Michigan State. And then the Nittany Lions can go to the Big Ten championship game. Start of the second quarter, 14-0 North Carolina State leads, and Mitch Trubisky goes back to work through the air. Just a 4-man rush puts pressure on Trubisky. The pass is incomplete. And Molly, that defensive line has been very impressive. And again, 4-man pressure got to him that time.
Yeah, that's right, Adam. The defense was fired up before marching out onto the field. And the message to the defensive line was their quarterback is having too much room to dance around the pocket. You can't let him extend plays like that. He wants his guys to get up in a 2-point stance, get to Trubisky faster. And the coaches also want to see more physicality from their defense, so they are not letting up, Adam.
Very good defensive line coach and Ryan Nielsen for NC State. Toss play, TJ Logan. And the senior out of Greensboro gets hit by Dravius Wright after a pick of a 3. Now 3rd down at 7.
Well, if you're Larry Fedora, you start over. You didn't get your quick start. And you look at what Eli Drinkwitz has done, who came in from Boise. He's running the Boise offense. They're being physical, trying to get back. But this is a pitch sweep that gained 10 yards to start the game.
Trubisky under pressure from Wright and still completed the pass. Here's Switzer in the open field and into North Carolina State territory. Mitch Trubisky stood in there, took the hit, but still Switzer was able to make the grab for 28.
When people are wondering why this guy could be a first-round draft choice, he sat in there under tremendous pressure and took a hit as he threw it to Switzer that time.
That's the nickelback Dravius Wright. Back to Switzer in the flat, and Dravius Wright runs him out after a gain of 3 to the 46-yard line.
And that's the kind of play, Adam, that can get you started. Now they come back, fake the run. They've got more rhythm on offense. You've got to try to get some life in your team and get confidence. And these last 2 plays should really help North Carolina.
Ryan Switzer, the all-time leading pass catcher in North Carolina history, passed Quinshot Davis earlier this season for the most receptions in UNC history. Trubisky had the run pass option there. He'll give it to Logan, who runs into the middle linebacker Jared Fernandez. Redshirt junior and the second leading tackler stops him after 4.
And you see that Larry Fedora is not going to panic. He's going to run the ball. He's going to keep the same offense, but they need to get points on this drive. Big third down.
A team that averages 34 points per game. Held scoreless in the opening quarter today.
Checking at the line of scrimmage.
Again, just a four-man rush. Trubisky with time, and he finds Austin Proehl, but he cannot hold on. It would have been good for a first down. Mike Stevens had the coverage, but Austin Proehl just could not corral it cleanly. Trubisky's saying, hey, keep the offense out of the field, but the kicking unit's coming.
Very unusual for Proehl to drop the ball. He's their best route runner. He's such a good ball catcher. He runs the route. He gets separation inside, took his eyes off, looked a little bit upfield. And now if you're Larry, you're going to punt the ball deep because you don't want to give them a short field. Play defense. Try to get them backed up.
And a flag comes in before the kick with the play
Full
clock
start.
winding down.
Number 17, offense, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
People get mad about that, Adam. It gives them more room to punt, so it's not an
extra
issue.
5, yeah, it's an extra 5 for Tom Sheldon. So,
yes.
Tom Sheldon, too, by the way, has been really good as a punter this year. First-year punter for Larry Fedora. North Carolina leads the country in punt return defense. The longest return against him this year has been just 3 yards. A good one from Sheldon, and a touchback is ruled. It broke the plane. Good effort by MJ Stewart to try to stay all the way in play, but that broke the plane, and it will be a touchback. It'll reach very high on the big bounce to try to hold it in.
Ruling on the field is a touchback. First down.
If that ball crosses the plane of the goal line, they bring it back out. It's a good decision by Larry Fedora to punt. It would have been a better decision if they'd gotten it at the 1-yard line.
So instead, NC State takes over at its own 20, a 14-0 lead for the Wolfpack. Where's the solution for UNC right now?
ESPN College Football, brought to you by the Quick Silver Card from Capital One. Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back every purchase, everywhere. And Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry.
1789 is when the University of North Carolina was established, one of the oldest land-grant universities in the country, and Larry Fedora's football team in a really good stretch the last couple of seasons, but they need a win today and some help from Virginia to get to the ACC championship game, and they're down early. North Carolina State back to work. Finley for Lewis. North Carolina territory, and Lewis still on his feet inside the 35. Inside the 30, a first down in Tar Heel territory. It's a 53-yard pass play to Stephon Lewis.
They brought Stewart off the corner. It was really good pressure, but Days did a great job at running back, stepping up. Perfect throw and catch, big first down.
The previous play is under further review.
Adam, the NC State coaches told us, got to run the ball, got to throw it deep, got to win 50% of the deep ones. Let's see what this one comes out to be.
I think they want to see whether or not Lewis stepped out right around the 43 or so.
We're reviewing whether or not the runner stepped out of bounds after receiving the football.
And based on the initial replay looks we got, I didn't see it. I didn't see the foot go down on the chalk for Stephon Lewis before he made that cutback.
You've got a 6'2" guy on Lewis, and he's on a 5'9" guy, Corey Bell. He was well covered. Corey's got to look back for the ball, but really good catch.
And I think he was in bounds the entire time. That's really
After
good
review,
dexterity.
the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
David Galloway is our replay official today. His crew in the booth nailed it. And it indeed is a 53-yard catch and run by Lewis after he had the 59-yard touchdown in the opening quarter on that trick play for North Carolina State.
It's bad that North Carolina's defense gave up field position, but now they've got to have a stop. They don't need to go down 3 scores.
So now a rare play for the Wolfpack in Tar Heel territory. This is only their 5th play on the opposite side of the field, yet they're the ones with the lead. It's Days with a nice cutback, and he turns what could have been a loss into a hard-earned 3-yard gain. Mikey Bart forced him back to the inside. but could not make a stop in the backfield.
It was very good defense. He tried to bounce it outside. They created an edge where he couldn't, made him turn up inside, and then all your tacklers can gang tackle.
If he gets past Mikey Bart, that might be a 5-6, maybe a longer run. So you'll take 3 on a play like that because Mikey Bart, the senior, did his job.
Absolutely. Turn him up. You got to help inside. You don't have much help outside.
Pitch to the outside, and Days looking for a hole, gets ripped down by DeJuan Drennan at the 19-yard line. A big spill from Days to set up 3rd down and 2. And the formerly injured Drennan making the stop.
They're getting Days with his speed on the corner. Faked it inside. He plants the foot. He turns up. Really good job.
Right back to Days on the ground, and he's got the 1st down. Perhaps. No, that looked like he was short. Andre Smith made the stop. The line to gain was the 17, and I think that spot will end up being maybe a yard short. Thought he had lunged forward instead. 4th down and 1 for North Carolina State.
Yeah, NC State's been up and down with their kicking game. You're trying to get to a bowl game. You're on the road. It's a rival. You go for it on 4th down. They'll probably try to pull the UNC defense off first, and if not, give the ball to your best player, Days, up inside.
It is Days taking the direct snap, and now he's got the 1st down and more. Matt Days on his feet to the end zone. Touchdown, Wolfpack. Matt Days doing it all.
There's penetration up inside by Andre Smith. He misses the tackle. Days is a tough runner. He's got a low balance. Takes it all the way in for the score.
He's averaging 5 yards a pop on the ground, and he's already banged in 2 touchdowns today. North Carolina State, a 2-score underdog coming into Chapel Hill on the road in a rivalry game. You know, the old cliche, throw the record books out the window, because Dave Doran's crew is getting a huge performance in the 1st half. Take a look back with our Valero Drive recap to go up 21-0 North Carolina State using the long throws downfield. Stephon Lewis with his second 50-plus yard catch and run, and then Matt Days has done the dirty work all day long.
Yes, Matt Days has had 50 yards rushing, 36 receiving, and talking to Coach Gene Chizik on defense, they said we have to stop Days. So defense at North Carolina got to step up and start getting after him.
Gene Chizik, the defensive coordinator for North Carolina, has improved this defense in his 2 seasons. Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina State, was on Chizik's 2010 Auburn National Championship staff as a quality control assistant for Gus Malzahn. TJ Logan down at the 26-yard line, and down to Molly we go.
NC State was fired up after that last drive. Stephon Lewis jawing back and forth with the UNC crowd, talking trash to the fans, standing on a bench. Matt Days, though, very quiet, keeping to himself, only telling his teammates, don't get tired, keep up the aggression, Adam.
Is it easy, Mac, to kind of get emotionally spent? I know it's a huge performance so far by NC State. Is it easy to maybe get a little spent because you're so hyped up for a game like this?
Absolutely, and this one's long from over, so NC State better keep that mouth shut. Quit talking to the fans, start looking to the field. If Coach Doran sees him, he'll have Luis looking back out at the field. And we're going to see Larry Fedora keep doing what he's doing. He's got to stir him up. You just change, probably go a little faster tempo.
Trubisky, off-target throw for the leading completion percentage man of the ACC, looking for Switzer.
And Adam, North Carolina needs to stay on the field. NC State's had it 11 minutes to 8:30. And that was one of the keys for this ball game. Stay on the field. And so far, it's not happening for North Carolina. Got to make some 1st downs.
And Mitch Trubisky, and by the way, it's not all his fault, going 6 of 11 so far. He's had some drops from receivers. And we've seen some odd throws from a guy who has been sparkling this year in terms of completion percentage at 70%, 5th in the country.
And NC State's just playing base defense.
Yeah.
They're not blitzing a lot.
They're brushing forward pretty much every time. Like here, and still forcing Trubisky up in the pocket. He'll slide down at the 30 is where the slide began. That's where they're marking after a 4-yard play.
The street forced him out, but really good job by Fernandez of going up and making him slide short of the first down. So this is a huge third down for North Carolina. They'll be throwing the ball. It'll probably be option routes. I would think it was inside because it'll be man coverage outside. NC State's going to come with 3.
Just a 3-man rush. Switzer underneath. He was hit shy of the sticks by Arius Moore. They needed the 36, and Moore was there to stop him at the 35, the third leading tackler on the team, with a clutch stop on Ryan Switzer, and down 21-0 here in the first half. Larry Fedora is going to bring his punting unit out again.
Well, this is a great place for a fake, but things aren't going well. So I would think that we'll see Coach Fedora probably go ahead and punt the ball.
He's got one of the best punters in the ACC in Tom Sheldon. Low snap, pressure got there, but he was able to boom one away to help flip the field. Braylon Cherry down at the 20. 47-yard punt, short return. And let's see if North Carolina's defense gets going, because they have not been able to stop the Pack just yet. Game day from Columbus, Ohio at 7 a.m. on ESPN, taking you all the way up to noon on ABC when Michigan and Ohio State. A very highly expected matchup of two very good teams have been waiting a long time for it. They've been sitting around waiting to play this game all season long. We've hyped it up from the start of the year because we knew it would probably be an important game. And sure enough, maybe the biggest game of the Big Ten this year.
It's like it's Woody and Bo coaching against each other. They're just younger.
A 10-year anniversary of Bo Schembechler's passing as well.
Love Coach Schembechler.
North Carolina State from the 20-yard line. And the ball gets knocked away from Nyheim Hines, and North Carolina gets the play it needed on defense. Hines could not hold on. It was knocked away by Smith, and M.J. Stewart comes out of the pack with it for the Tar Heels.
That's such a key play for North Carolina's defense. They still got blocked. It's a concern. He's running downfield. Let's see if he was down. Looks like the ball popped out, but it's going to be close with that knee. Let's look right here quickly.
Yep.
Ball's out.
Ball's certainly out.
Ball's out. NC State got to run the ball, got to take care of the ball, got to pressure Trubisky. So far, they're doing all 3 of those. First time turnover, short field for North Carolina's offense.
A crucial play for the Tar Heel defense, which had not been able to stop NC State. Now Trubisky takes over at the plus 33. An off-play action under pressure. Trubisky wheeling and dealing, and it's incomplete at the feet of his intended target. With the pressure from Justin Jones, could not get it to Hood. Cleveland.
A lot of people think this front 4 is the best front 4 in the ACC. They're putting a lot of pressure on with just 4 guys, and when you can do that, you can drop the other 7, and it makes it a whole lot easier to defend the pass.
Watch number 9 all day. Bradley Chubb. His cousin is Nick, who played against North Carolina and ran for a big day in the opening game of the season. He's been coming off the edge. That time Elijah Hood with the drop. It should be a forward pass incomplete, and indeed that is the case.
Ruling on the field is a forward incomplete pass. Third down.
And what's happening now, Adam, they're pressing.
Yeah.
They're pressing. They know it. Coach Fedora is saying, I didn't see this coming, so come on, guys. Catch the ball. That's the 4th drop of the game for North Carolina.
So while Trubisky's 7 of 14 right now, the drops have been crucial. Speaking of which, Hines, his fumble, has given North Carolina this field position. Can they do anything with it? They'll go to the ground, and Hood. And Elijah Hood picks up the first down. 20-yard run on 3rd down and 10, down to the 13-yard line.
Really good block by 6'6", 325-pound R.J. Prince as he gets the sweep on the boundary. Be physical, run the ball.
Right back to Hood on the ground, breaking tackles, and he's close to the sticks. Down to the 4-yard line where Fernandez closed him out. 9 more yards for Elijah Hood. Seeing some of the tempo that North Carolina likes to go with when they're in a good offensive groove. Play fake. Trubisky, end zone, touchdown Switzer, and North Carolina's on the board.
Best way to get momentum back, run the ball, then you fake it inside, take it outside, you throw it to your senior and your leading receiver in school history, Switzer.
And that swinging gate look, well, more of a spread look here, really, with the holder and the kicker out there. Weiler is the kicker, kind of lined up as a running back, and it'll be called off by Joey Mangili, the holder. Nick Weiler, the excellent kicker, who's only missed 1 point after all season long, had that game-winning field goal from 54 against Florida State in the upset over the Seminoles this year. Carolina got the takeaway. Trubisky cashes in with a touchdown to Switzer. Welcome back to ESPN's rivalry series presented by Jiffy Lube. North Carolina gets on the board 21-7. North Carolina State with the lead and celebrating its 12th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets. Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed millions in scholarship funds. A drive that North Carolina needed after Hines fumbled a carry on the last NC State drive. He is a good return man. And he set up a good Tar Heel field position on the last touch. Good kick by Weiler out of the back of the end zone. And out to the 25 will come NC State. As you mentioned, Mack Brown, 10 years coaching at North Carolina moments ago. Crowd honoring Mack Brown with a cheer. I think I heard some boos. Won a couple of boos from the folks in red.
You got NC State, and you've got some North Carolina folks that don't like me either. But we had a wonderful 10 years here, and it was a lot of fun. Fun to be back. And we're about to have us a great game, I think.
21-0 NC State, but we know how explosive the Tar Heel offense can be and has been. Who can hold up? Because we haven't even reached the halfway point of the second quarter yet. There's a long way to go on this Friday. Ryan Finley back to work from the 25 for the Wolfpack. Finley on the keep, running along the edge, takes a pop after picking up about 3. Holcomb and Drennan, both hard-hitting backers and ends, were there for the stop.
And if you're UNC's defense, you forced the fumble. Offense took momentum from it. Now you've got to stop the run and start forcing Finley to throw the ball downfield.
Finley off. Jalen McClendon will check in. Typically the Wildcat quarterback who can toss it. He's got a lead block from Cole Cook, but good penetration by the Tar Heel defense, and Jeremiah Clark with a tackle for loss.
That's what has to happen. You got to penetrate to stop the running game. Clark gets penetration. It's a quarterback sweep with the young quarterback McClendon coming in. Now this is a huge third down. What will North Carolina do? You're going to put pressure. Are you going to drop? Normally on third down they're going to come. Looks like they're playing man, going to play with 4. Rush 4. Rushing 5.
With a spy there as well. That spy was Smith, who got taken out, but Matt Days lost the football, being punched around and still loose back to midfield. Stewart was on the bottom of the pile, and who ended up with it after the scrum? Side judge is saying Tar Heel football. And things got to get shut down here by the officials right now, because after a wild play like that, you expect tensions to rise, and now the bench will clear from both sides. Flags have been thrown, benches have partially cleared. Pushing and shoving on both ends, and the officials have to get it sorted out after a wild play like that.
Now we have a rival game.
Yes, sir. There's an official with his hat off, which typically means there was a flag thrown, and then he wanted to throw another flag for a penalty. Mac Hollins is trying to get the North Carolina crowd pumped up, the injured senior. There is so much to sort out on this play. The loss of the football, who has possession of it, And will there be anything else added to the flags that were thrown? So this is going to be David Galloway in the replay booth helping out Stuart Mullins and his officiating crew to sort all of this out in what turned into a very quick,
Really on
wild
the field
outburst.
was a fumble recovered by the defense. It'll be first down and 10 for North Carolina. There are multiple offsetting unsportsmanlike conduct fouls on both teams. Number 97 for North Carolina is disqualified for throwing a punch. First down.
Jalen Dalton threw a punch, so he has been disqualified from this game. Let's sort all of this out. It was
The
a
previous
fumble
play is under further review.
ruled by Matt Days. Was it a completion first and foremost? Did he make a move come into the game with possession up the field? That may be ruled as an incomplete pass after all of that. I think first and foremost, that's the thing you have to look at, because what are the three axioms? Do you have the ball in two hands? Do you have a foot on the ground? And do you have time and a move come into the game going upfield or going forward or moving forward? I think that could easily be ruled as an incomplete pass. It was a bang-bang play. I've talked to NFL officials and college officials about this, and all of them say they don't want to tag a receiver with a cheap fumble. So bang-bang plays will often go towards incomplete pass. I think the officials did a good job of letting all of that play out, though, and now they can go back to replay and see what they missed, if anything at all.
I agree. I think it was an underneath route. You were in a long yardage situation.
Third down and 11.
Days bobbled the ball. I think it's an incomplete pass, and we go back to play. Now, if your coaches right now, the defensive coaches at UNC, are thinking about 3rd and 11, what happens on this next play? If you're or 4th now, so it's a punt. Dave Doran's getting his punt team ready. So you got to get the punt team ready from your 24. You got to get the punt block and return team ready. And then, if it's not, the offensive coaches are working on what they would do for UNC. A lot of things happening on that sideline right now.
Yeah, and again, the replay booth still has to say whether or not this was an incomplete pass. This was the post-mortem of all of it. This thing got banged around about 20 yards downfield, and it ended up being M.J. Stewart on the bottom of the pile with the football. And while the fracas was happening, Stewart actually took the football and kind of zipped it towards his own sideline to say, hey, we still have the football. It was Matt Days who fumbled the football. And then watch 97, Dalton, you saw it. He just threw a fist at Prescott of North Carolina State. That's what got Jalen Dalton tossed out of this game. Whether you want to call it a forceful punch or not, it was a fist to the head, to the helmet. That's enough to rule that a punch. Larry Fedora was trying to pull his guy in Jalen Dalton back towards the sideline after he saw a stupid mistake like that in a heated moment.
Yeah, you want them to be excited. You want them to be physical. Don't get out there and start fighting. This is football. Let's go compete. And how sad for Jalen Dalton to throw a punch and it may be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, after all of that, I think this is going to be ruled incomplete based on what we talked about. That was such a bang-bang play. They're not going to want to tag an offensive player with a cheap fumble like that when there was no clear movement upfield with time and possession. So I think it's going to be an incomplete pass. All of that will set it up as 4th down and 11 back at the North Carolina State 24-yard line, and likely the punt unit would come out for NC State.
Yeah, and still would be a stop for North Carolina's defense, which they need now, and they get the ball back after having a great offensive series. Both coaches are also trying to say, stay on the boundary. Do not come on that field.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 11 at the 24-yard line. Please set the game clock to 6:59. 6:59 on the game clock, and start it on my signal, please.
Well done all around. Unfortunate to see a kid get ejected for doing something stupid, which he should not have done, and he rightfully deserves to be thrown out. Jalen Dalton gets tagged with that. Unfortunate for him and for North Carolina's defense. The replay booth handled that exceptionally well. Credit to David Galloway, the replay official, and Stuart Mullins and the crew for trying to break all that up as soon as possible. Those are big-body boys getting after it with all the officials.
Well, and good for both coaches out there trying to stop the fight in the middle of the field. Larry Fedora pulling his guys back. David Doran trying to hit his back. Very emotional day for players and coaches.
On my signal.
And now Ryan Switzer, after
Correction,
all of
the clock
that,
will start on the snap.
he steps up. 7 punt return touchdowns in his career, none this year, but 1 more will tie the NCAA record held by Antonio Perkins at Oklahoma and Wes Welker at Texas Tech. This guy is a scary good return man. A.J. Cole has to kick to him.
I wouldn't punt it to him.
Good hang time, enough to force the fair catch. Well done by Cole. And that'll take us to a timeout. If you thought you saw 21-0 and thought, I don't want to watch this game anymore, you missed way too much. Get back after this. College football all weekend long. You can stream every game live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Download the app or visit watchespn.com. All part of our Jiffy Lube rivalry series, North Carolina and NC State. A bit of a light rumble moments ago, and now North Carolina back to offense. Ryan Switzer with an incomplete pass from Mitch Trubisky. Could not hold on to it with Dravius Wright in coverage. That is an incompletion, and it's 2nd down and 10.
North Carolina's got to start doing better on first down. They've had 12 first down plays in this game. Only 22 yards so far, and only 2 plays more than 4 yards.
And another drop. Again, the coverage was good from Wright, but another drop from Trubisky's receivers today. That's 5. This is a give to Elijah Hood. Not much there against that stout NC State front led by Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb came in at 230 pounds. He ate himself into 275. And guy's big and strong. Still playing like a linebacker. Got great lateral movement and really quick off that line of scrimmage.
Ryan Nielsen's the excellent defensive line coach who's worked with Chubb the last year plus to turn him into a legitimate threat off the edge. Trubisky on 3rd down. With a flag thrown, he completes it to Bug Howard with pressure in his face and the penalty marker on the field. 17 yards, but
number 52, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Tommy Hatton, the redshirt freshman who's taken over for the injured Caleb Peterson, gets called for that holding penalty that negates the 17-yard conversion.
And that's a mismatch. You got Big Hill, 6'4", 300-pounder, putting pressure on the quarterback up inside. North Carolina's probably going to have to look at moving the quarterback some, getting it out of his hands a little bit quicker, because right now their inability to block the front 4 of NC State, which is one of the best in the country, is really hurting them on offense.
And instead of having to rush 5 or 6, NC State can drop 7 back in coverage against some really good receivers for North Carolina.
They're playing really base defense.
They'll stay conservative on 3rd down and 20 and try to pick up as much as possible with Elijah Hood. He does get 12, but it'll still be 4th down and 8 coming up inside of 6 to play for this first half.
And you can't force a turnover there if you're Larry Fedora. So run the ball, try to get some field position, get you another stop on defense, and then have a short field on the other end, because your defense is starting to play better.
Now Braylon Cherry, who's got a punt return touchdown in his career, will step back for another Tom Sheldon boot. Pressure almost got there again, but Sheldon gets away a great punt to the sideline, forcing him out at the 22. And let's go back to the studio, checking with our guy Stan Verrett.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Taco Bell studio update. Houston trying for a 2nd straight season of back-to-back wins, taking on Memphis. Riley Ferguson hooking up with Phil Mayhew for the touchdown, but back come the Cougars. Greg Ward to Tyler McCloskey for the touchdown. Memphis up 24-17 right now.
Stan, thanks so much. Obviously, and I thought Cole Kubelik did a great job earlier today asking Tom Herman the questions that he needed to ask him about the situation that he could potentially find himself in. I thought Tom Herman answered the questions the way you would expect and would want him to answer those questions. Quick toss over the middle, and it's caught by Hines for 9 yards on 1st down.
Good run fake on 1st down. Nice slant play inside from Finley to Hines. And tough time for a Larry Fedora, who's done so well here, and people are talking about him maybe going somewhere else. You're talking about Tom Herman. People speculating last night he's going to LSU, he's doing this. I can promise you Tom Herman's coaching that football team like Larry Fedora's coaching this one. They're not talking about other jobs.
And 2nd down and 1 to the ground in Days, and he works forward for the 1st down. You said it, Larry Fedora has been kind of going through this the last couple of years because he's had good, successful runs the last 2 seasons for Larry Fedora. And he's been in the mix of all of those conversations for other jobs. And the way he said it to me last year and the way he said it to us this week, hey, it's a good thing. That means our team's playing well. That means we're doing something right. I'll worry about my team right now. There's Days to the outside and just a couple.
Adam, they're talking about you either way. They're talking about firing you, or they're talking about you doing so well you may go somewhere else. So you better have them talking about you leaving and going somewhere else. But what you do is you talk about your team, and you don't worry about the other stuff. People ask me all the time, have you talked to Tom Herman this week because he worked for you? Have you talked to Larry Fedora about the possibility of other jobs? I don't do that. Those are personal decisions for them and their family.
A keep for Finley, and he dives ahead to the 41-yard line. Picks up 5, elusive on the ground. And that sets up a short third down situation here for North Carolina State.
Talking to Brian Harsin, he said Ryan Finley, for a big tall guy at 6'4", is really athletic and competitive. This is a big third down because they need to get a first down, stay on the field going into half. Let a little clock run. Probably going to 7 on the option play.
They have Hines. That's the option route. Hines at the sticks. Work that arm forward to try to get the first down. Let's see where they spot the football. Donnie Miles had the coverage. The line to gain was the 44, and it looked like he just got past it.
That's an option route to Nyheim Hines, who's got such great speed. He goes out. If he's open, he stops. If it's zone, if it's man, he turns it out. Perfect throw and catch, first down. Big play for NC State.
And again, Hines just extended the right arm to try to get the ball spotted at the 45. Just shy of it, but good enough to move the chains. Play action fake for Finley. Tough ball for Lewis, and too tall. And it'll be incomplete. Good coverage by MJ Stewart.
Yeah, Stewart had him covered so well. Good job by Finley throwing it out of bounds.
North Carolina's defense, especially the secondary for Larry Fedora, such good experience in the back end for them. They've allowed a touchdown to a wide receiver today on that trick play, but prior to today, they'd only allowed 2 to a wide receiver all year.
Gene Chiswick's done an amazing job from where they were 3 years ago to where they are today on defense.
McClendon in that Wildcat package. McClendon close to the sticks. He needed the 45 in North Carolina territory, and this will depend on the spot as well. The far side line judge may give it a little bit more of a favorable spot than the near side. And that'll be good enough for the first down again. 2 close first downs picked up by North Carolina State on this drive.
Jalen McClendon's a surprise to everybody, but he's come in the game and made some big plays. Still in there.
Timeout. North Carolina State, their first of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Well, 2 minutes to play here in this first half. NC State with a fresh set of downs. And a reminder that tomorrow, game day will be in Columbus, Ohio, starting at 7 a.m. Eastern time here on ESPN. A special 5-hour edition of College Game Day from the Horseshoe, leading you all the way up to ABC's presentation of Michigan and Ohio State at noon Eastern on ABC. Got a chance to look at our college football playoff rankings brought to you by PlayStation. No shock that these are 2 teams that are right in the hunt for it. Alabama's got Auburn. Clemson's got South Carolina. Washington is playing in the Apple Cup against their rivals for a chance to go to the Pac-12 championship game, both of those teams.
I think the committee's going to be watching football games tomorrow. They've got some hard decisions coming up. Look out, Wisconsin. Penn State's coming on. Oklahoma's playing gangbusters right now. Oklahoma State, too. Got fun football ahead.
Give a lot of credit to what Mike McIntyre has done over the course of this season. Here's Days on first down. Good run inside the 35, just a shade inside to move the chains. As we duck inside of 2 minutes to play for this first half, North Carolina State still has 2 timeouts.
It's a power play. Really good block by the backside guard pulling around Bradbury. Big tough guy. North Carolina's defense needs a stop here. They can't afford to let them have momentum going in at halftime.
Still McClendon at quarterback, and it's a give to Days. Works his way to the 31-yard line, picking up 4 on first down. North Carolina State will get the ball to start half number 2. And their offense has been on fire so far.
You can't give up points here, then let them take the ball to start the second half and try to get more points there. It could be a 14-point swing.
This is a team that only averages 26 per game. They've got 21 in the first half. And still working. Lewis on the outside, gets out of bounds. Had Stewart all over him along with Bell, and he was able to drag Bell out of bounds after a 5-yard gain, so they can save themselves a timeout here.
Smart play by Lewis, getting out of bounds and stopping that clock.
Will mark the football a yard shy of the line to gain. Finley still on the sidelines as McClendon has asserted himself well on this drive.
And Adam, you need to try to score 7 points here, but you want to keep the right to kick. 3 points is huge in this situation. It's like North Carolina's coming.
Run blitz, and it's a first down for Matt Days again. Donnie Miles got him by the ankles, but Matt Days continues his excellent first half and takes it to the red zone.
Had a blitz from the field. Started looking at Stewart coming from the field. Handed off to the power play to the boundary. Really good call.
Right back to the ground for Matt Days. And down to the 13 and a timeout.
NC State smart to keep all 3 timeouts in their pocket. 1 down now. They've got two to play with here with the last 31 seconds.
Actually, they did not use their second timeout here. That was my mistake, Max. So they keep both timeouts.
Keep their 3.
Second down and 5. McClendon incomplete. Andre Smith had the coverage on Days that time, and that'll set up 3rd down and 5. Let's go to studio and Stan Verrett.
All right, Adam, coming up, the Lexus halftime report. We're missing Mac, but Mark May is here with me. We're going to break down Michigan and Ohio State, Big Ten implications there, and also college football playoff implications. Lexus halftime report coming up in just a minute.
I'm not going to argue with you like you do with Mark. I'm just telling you right now, man. I'm not going to do it.
Mark's the best. I'll get to see those guys tomorrow with a lot of good football. That was really lucky NC State had an incompletion there, because if clock would have run, they had no yardage gain.
Now they'll use one of those 2 remaining timeouts.
Timeout. North Carolina State, their second of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
And that's why Dave Doran kept holding on to him even after that first down play where they got some yardage. Now he's got 1 timeout left. In case they run the football, they can still call a timeout to set up a field goal. When we finish up our Friday today with Arizona State and Arizona, Kenny May and Nicole Briscoe will have Sports Center at night. They'll set you up for all things Ohio State and Michigan this weekend, plus NBA, NFL from Thanksgiving. They'll set you up for Week 12 this weekend as well. NHL highlights, all of it available on Sports Center at night. Plenty of action over the course of the next 2 days on our networks and others. Washington State, the winner goes to the Pac-12 championship game. We've got Michigan, Ohio State on ABC. Virginia and Virginia Tech fans are watching this game, and vice versa, because North Carolina needs to win this and needs Virginia to upset Virginia Tech to go to the ACC championship game. Alabama's final test before the SEC title game. Clemson doesn't want to slip up before the playoff. They're still in the number 4 spot. And we'll close it all out with Florida State and Florida.
2 of my favorite days of football.
This is one of the best weekends of the year, as North Carolina will use a timeout.
Timeout. North Carolina, their first of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Here's where coaches are thinking now. 31 seconds left. It's 3rd down and 6. Do I blitz? If you blitz, you got 1-on-1 with a tall guy in the end zone. You could have a crease inside. Do I try to play straight base defense and stop them on a run or a short pass? If you're NC State, be smart. You can't turn it over. 3 points are huge. So that's what they're thinking. Need 7, got to have 3.
They could run the ball against Gene Chiswick's defense. They've done it on 3rd down at times over the course of the day, and why not? They've got Matt Days to lean on. He's had a huge first half in this game so far.
Yeah, I had to stop him. Knew he was a good player. They've gotten it to him as a receiver, and he's so elusive when he gets out there. He's a powerful runner up inside. He's a guy that can plant and cut and turn upfield. This guy can do it all. He's also had some good times where he's protected against the blitz today to really help his quarterback.
And he is in the backfield for McClendon. It's been mostly McClendon on this drive.
Huge down in this ball game. Just bringing 4.
And they will go to the ground and close to the sticks. They needed the 8-yard line when McClendon got hit at the 9 by Drennan. Very close. And again, NC State still has that last timeout. They'll use it here.
Now you kick.
Timeout, North Carolina State. That's their 3rd and final. Charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Take your points. You love where you are if you're NC State in the first half. You get the ball to start the second half. This one's a no-brainer.
What a bull rush that North Carolina State put on Larry Fedora's crew to start this day. Impressive stuff. Remember, they're desperate for a win as well to get to a bowl game. Dave Doran's had a lot of heat on him over the course of the last couple of weeks. They've come so close in games this year. They had the chance against Clemson. They had a chance against Florida State. They lost a game to East Carolina by 3 points earlier in the season. He said it's the most emotionally taxing coaching year he's had in his career. And
they better hope he stays. You get this bunch on the way to Clemson to a field goal. They missed the field goal. Dave didn't miss a field goal.
They've been in contention all season long for Dave Doran's crew. You saw Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator.
They're doing a good job.
So Connor Haskins, who's taken over the field goal duties in the second half of the season. It's no good, wide to the left.
Huge.
North Carolina avoids 3 more points on the board against him.
It's a huge momentum swing going in at halftime.
Well, Stan Verrett and Mark Mayer back in the studios after this break. They'll bring you all the latest news and scores on the Lexus Halftime Report.
This is the Lexus Halftime Report.
Hey, what's a rivalry game without a scuffle? The Wolfpack and the Heels working off some of that turkey. Pack winning the battle on the scoreboard so far. Molly McGrath with Dave Doran.
Coach, a very emotional game. Things got chippy in the second quarter there. How do you like your team's composure so far?
Well, we can't leave the bench like that. I mean, it's a rivalry game. There's a lot of emotion involved, as you mentioned, and we just got to stay within where we can be physical. That's between the whistles.
Matt Days with a huge first half. What do you want to see from your offense when you get the ball back in the second half?
Just drive it up and down the field and score touchdowns, finish drives. We had to protect the ball. I mean, the only momentum they got was off a turnover we gave them, so we just got to take care of the football.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Welcome into the studio, Stan Verrett, along with College Football Hall of Famer Mark May. Hey, man, you know all about those scuffles. I mean, your rivalry game was called the Backyard Brawl. I mean,
absolutely.
You have to expect this kind of stuff,
Hey,
right?
you got to get it done. You have to give everything you've got in this game because these are bragging rights for the rest of your lives whenever you see these players down the road. And if you look at North Carolina State and Dave Doran's group, they're doing a heck of a job winning at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. They're 5-6 right now. He's on the hot seat. Winning against your rivalry, this could go a long way if they win this game, win the second half, and end up 6-6 for him.
A lot to play for North Carolina as well. Carolina hoping for a Virginia Tech loss against Virginia in their rivalry game and come back and get a win here, and that makes them the Coastal Division champions.
This halftime report is presented by Lexus. This halftime report is presented by Lexus. Welcome back to the Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series.
It's a Friday, I'm about to go off. Got my chains on and I'm about to show off. You just nigga up ahead, about to go off. Now go off, now go off. Talk to him. Rewind now.
Back in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, you're watching the ACC on ESPN. Tremendously important game in this rivalry contest between North Carolina State and North Carolina. The Wolfpack got off to the 21-0 start. They get the ball to start half number 2 with a 21-7 lead. Welcome me back into the broadcast booth at Kenan Memorial. Adam Amin, Mac Brown, Molly McGrath will join us in a moment as well. So the things that Dave Doran talked to us about, getting back to the basics, looks like all the basics were covered in that first half.
Yes, he's winning the line of scrimmage for sure. They're getting so much pressure with their front 4 on defense without bringing extra guys. And then they act like they're going to bring 5. They disguised it, pulled out got Ryan Switzer short of a first down on a big third down. They're also stopping North Carolina on first down. North Carolina's got to make some yards early.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can get going offensively. Mitch Trubisky had a lot of drops from his receivers, still closing in on the single-season passing record as well, but he had a rough first half. He still needs 164 more yards to get there. A lot of hype around Mitch Trubisky, and rightfully so, with how efficient he's been all season long, shooting up draft boards and things of that nature, but he'll have to wait his turn as NC State will be on offense to start. Weiler onside kick. Needs to go 10 yards, and it will roll to the 35, and it's loose. Who's got it? It needed to get to the 45-yard line before it is able to be recovered by the kicking team. North Carolina claiming that they've got it, and it's up to the field judge and the rest of the crew here. Tar Heels still claiming they have it, and they do. They recover the onside kick to start the half. Anthony Ratliff-Williams came out of the pack with it for the Tar Heels. Good job by the kicking unit to make sure it went 10 yards to the 45 before getting the football.
The previous play is under further review.
You see it breaks the plane of the 45 there. That's 10 yards.
I think it's UNC ball. North Carolina did a great job of blocking the front of NC State. NC State wasn't prepared for it with their look, and you wouldn't be. Great call by Larry Fedora. It bounced and bounced and bounced and finally got to the line 10 yards away, and I feel like it's their ball.
Did Ratliff touch it at all before it went to the 45? I think maybe it went off of a foot, perhaps, but I think it was past 10 yards. Dexter Wright was in the area for North Carolina State as well.
And Dexter didn't know what to do. It didn't make it 10 yards. He's standing there. And again, if it touched Dexter's foot,
it's a live ball.
It's a live ball. But it's a live ball anyway, Adam. They're blocking them. Great call by Larry Fedora. Whether it's a first down or not for North Carolina, whether they get the ball, what a great call to come out and try to change momentum in this game.
Pretty decent execution
Prior to
as
the
well.
ball, traveling 10 yards, there was a block by a member of the kicking team, number 25. That 5-yard penalty will be assessed at the previous spot, and we will re-kick.
This is a crucial addition to the rule book. When you are kicking off, when you attempt an onside kick, and this is typically the situation where this penalty will come into play, you cannot block before the ball gets 10 yards. And if the player is ruled to be blocking before 10 yards, then that will be a penalty against the kicking team.
Well, and it normally doesn't happen because the ball's bouncing so quickly.
You saw a block from Chris Francis, but I think there was a player on the ground after Aiden Bonilla, 25, made contact initially as well on an attempt to block downfield. We didn't get a chance to see any blocks. We were focused on the ball, but that's a pretty good call by the officiating crew there, too.
It's a great call because you're telling your guys to block. You're telling them to be aggressive, but normally the ball is across the line before you block.
And Ratliff-Williams, he wasn't blocking. He was just kind of putting his body in front of defenders, and then he tried to dive on top of the ball. That was the smart move. Bonilla and Francis both threw blocks before the ball went downfield 10 yards on the onside try.
Still a great call by Larry Fedora. He sent a message. We're going after this thing. We're going to be aggressive.
So now Weiler kicks to Nyheim Hines from the 7-yard line. Hines will dive ahead to the 29-yard line as we go down to Molly McGrath. We'll check in with Molly after the penalty flag.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 14, return team, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Dexter Wright was part of that return unit. He got called for the penalty.
Correction, half the distance to the goal, first down.
Things getting chippy. We saw this in the second quarter. Even Nick Weiler, the kicker for North Carolina, getting into it.
Hey, you got to keep composure. We've had the fight in the middle of the field. Let's go play. That really hurts NC State because with a 5-yard penalty, they had good field position. Now they're backed up at their own 14. Big stop here for UNC's defense. They have to start stopping the run.
Weren't able to do it in the first half as Finley works off play action and throws it underneath. And Jalen Samuels gets knocked down by Andre Smith in open field for no gain on the play.
It's a good first down play by the defense because you've got to start making stops now if you're going to win.
Let's check in with Molly.
Well, Adam, it was eerily quiet in UNC's locker room at halftime. Larry Fedora disappointed with his team's mistakes. He wasn't happy with those drop balls. He said that as far as defense goes, Mac, you were right. He wants them to stop the run. He wants them to earn the right to rush the passer. We got to get off the field on third down. He said no more turnovers as well.
We'll go to Jalen Samuels here, Molly, and he's run out of bounds. Good pursuit by Dominique Green and Cole Holcomb. It'll set up 3rd down and 7.
Two really good plays by the UNC defense. It's a play action pass on first down or a speed sweep on 2nd down for NC State. This is a very important 3rd down for both teams as far as momentum in the second half. Crowd's getting into it. Looks like they may just bring 4. Showed 5, backing out.
A rush just 3. Finley stepping out of the pocket and throwing on the move, looking for Jalen Samuels, and he's got the first down at the 34-yard line in front of Donnie Miles. The Swiss Army knife does it again for NC State.
What a great play by Ryan Finley. He gets out of the pocket. He moves to his right. He breaks contain. You got to keep contained for UNC. Throws the ball up inside to one of their best football players, second leading receiver, Jalen Samuels.
He does it at a 5'11", 223-pound super back, essentially. Pitch play to Gillespie, and he's got a hole. The seam for a good run on first down. Picks up about 9 as Andre Smith makes the tackle about a yard shy of the line to gain.
And Mickey Bart's there. He just couldn't make the play. They've got to continue to stop the run. They can't allow NC State to take this down and get 7 points.
Back to the ground again. Gillespie with that second effort able to surge ahead. Naz Jones, we haven't talked about a whole lot today. Very good defensive lineman, made the initial hit, but a good surge by the sophomore out of High Point, North Carolina.
And Naz is a 6'5", 300-pounder. He's really good up inside at stopping the run, and he's slippery enough to get to the passer.
Gillespie again. Nothing much there. That time a good job by the front of North Carolina to stretch that play out for minimal gain.
We were talking about it, Adam. You always take the blocker on with your inside arm. You keep your outside arm free and turn everybody up, and Jeremiah Clark did that on that play.
North Carolina's defense has improved each year under Gene Chizik. They've done it this year without the big takeaway numbers. Only 1 interception all year for North Carolina's defense. And this looks like a passing set.
Like they may come.
They're bringing some pressure. Quick throw to Lewis. Hit in the open field by Corey Bell Jr., but Lewis able to muscle to midfield to set up 3rd down and 2.
Another good throw by Finley. Got it out of his hands quickly. It's just a hitch route to the outside. He throws it in the perfect spot away from the defender. And then big Luis trying to stretch for the first down.
Go back to the Wildcat look here. Matt Days.
They're lined up wrong.
They look for the direct snap, and Days surges forward for the first down. What'd you see there, Mac?
Well, there are too many people lined up to the field, and I even think they're probably looking to try to call timeout on the boundary for North Carolina. But they had a field defense, and they got confused, and then quick snap for NC State. Fake the speed sweep to the field, and Days turns it up for a first down.
Yeah, the black jerseys were much more numerous on the far side, the wider side of the field, and Days went to the short side to pick up the yardage.
And a lot of times that's a read. He just decided smartly to keep it.
Eli Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator, dialing one up to throw. Finley looking downfield for the freshman Kelvin Harmon. Des Lawrence had the coverage that time.
Good coverage by Des Lawrence because he's looking back at the ball. They're not going to call it much when you start looking at Harmon, the big tall freshman. They like him deep, but he was reaching for the ball. Good first down stop by North Carolina.
And now McClendon is back in at quarterback. Draw play, and McClendon on the design run gets hammered by DeJuan Drennan after a gain of about 3 yards. 3rd down and 7. Holcomb and Drennan have put big hits North Carolina State players all day so far. 3rd down and medium to long.
Yeah, we're back to another 3rd down situation. They've got to try to stay on the field. North Carolina's got to get them off. Last week, NC State had trouble on 3rd down against Miami. Another big play in this ball game. Got to throw the ball downfield here, probably again to your slot, number 7, or you take a shot deep.
They're showing pressure.
They're coming with all of them.
Cornerback blitz. Finley steps up, finds a man, 1st down inside the 25, and Jacoby Myers is down at the 23. 12th catch for the freshman, 19 yards with the pressure in the face of Ryan Finley.
All out blitz. Andre Smith, number 10, back there. You can't miss the tackle on the quarterback and give him a chance to still throw the ball.
Now they'll swing it out to Myers once again. Back-to-back catches, and he's able to get past Cole Holcomb, and he's all the way down inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal, Wolfpack.
A great job by Finley on the previous play of stepping around Smith, throwing the ball downfield. That's what you got to do as a quarterback, stay alive.
How about Jacoby Myers out of Georgia, former quarterback in high school, turning into a wide receiver at North Carolina State.
A lot of momentum now with NC State.
Yep.
They've taken the momentum back over.
Now Finley's going to go line up wide.
Wildcat.
Days will get the direct snap here, and Matt Days puts a shoulder into Andre Smith. Down to the 4, and it's 2nd and goal.
I like what we've seen out of Eli Drinkwitz today. He's given a lot of different looks. He's run it. He's thrown play action. He's thrown deep. He's mixed the Wildcat in well. He's substituted McClendon in and out well. They've had a good plan.
And they stick with Matt Days for the direct snap here. He's already got 2 touchdowns on the day. He gives it to Samuel, and Jalen Samuels is in for a touchdown. Another one on the ground for North Carolina State. They're up by 3 scores again.
This is a play Eli Drinkwitz brought from Boise. You fake it on the speed sweep, run it off tackle. You fake it on the speed sweep, run it off tackle. Then all of a sudden you give it to Samuels, and he outruns the corner as Days is turning up inside. Big score for NC State.
I believe they're reviewing to see whether or not he got the ball across the plane before he kind of slithered out of bounds. And it is confirmed as a touchdown to cap off an 85-yard, 14-play drive after North Carolina had a successful onside kick negated due to a block penalty. Blocking before the ball went 10 yards downfield. And North Carolina State puts together an impressive offensive drive. They've rushed for 197 yards against North Carolina. That always bodes well in a rivalry game. We've got you covered is presented by Jiffy Lube Mac. 4-man rush has covered up Mitch Trubisky pretty well today for North Carolina State.
Yeah, North Carolina had to be more physical at the line of scrimmage, and right now they're losing that battle. Got an X-stun here. 4 guys are getting to the quarterback, and then they act like they're going to rush 5. Moore drops back. He knows exactly where the line for the 3rd down is. Switzer gets the ball at the line, but turns back inside. He's got to be aware of the line and make sure he turns up to make that 1st down.
And the team that has run for more yards in this matchup has won 21 of the last 24 meetings. North Carolina State with nearly 200 yards on the ground. Dangerous kickoff return man is TJ Logan. He's got it from inside his own 10. And he'll work his way out near the 30-yard line as we're very pleased to be joined in the booth here at Kenan Memorial Stadium. It wasn't that much of a walk for him as he just takes a couple of steps down the road. And here he is with us, Coach Roy Williams of the 7-0 Tar Heel basketball team. Congratulations on the Maui Invitational Championship.
Thank you very much. We played very well. We went over on Friday and played University of Hawaii in Honolulu, and then went over to Maui. And Friday's game helped us because we played so poorly then. We had a pretty tough practice on Saturday, but the kids played great the next 3 days.
You just got back, right?
You guys just got back from your trip.
Yeah, arrived at Smith Center at 12 noon, went home and showered, and then came.
On first down, here is Elijah Hood. Stays on his feet and across the 40-yard line. He's got a first down. Coach, Indiana coming up next week, Wednesday night. We'll have it on ESPN. What are you looking forward to? I know you just got off the plane and just got ready, but
I'm looking forward to enjoying the night.
I was going to say, give us your
we're
little
playing so fast, it's hard to even talk. That's good.
Trubisky on the move with a catch for Switzer sliding down.
You know what we're doing? We give the guys the rest of the day off today. We practice Saturday and Sunday, Monday, and then Tuesday have a light workout and go up there. But facing Indiana after they just lost a tough game, we know we'll have our hands full.
Well, Coach and I started in this business when Coach went to Kansas in the spring, and
I used to be Mac's driver.
well, that's not true. Coach Smith.
He's got a lot of those actually, from what we understand.
We'd go to the Rams Club meetings every spring, and he knew I was sneaking out, so he'd say, "Roy needs somebody to ride with him."
Well, we did 75, and Coach Smith did 4. He said, "You boys go get most of these others."
That's right. We got to get something going here on this football field this drive.
They're down in 5 coming up for North Carolina, nearing midfield. Down by 3 touchdowns. Through the air, here's Prohl. He's got the first down.
Great job.
Yeah.
And Prohl out near the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they picked up the tempo. They're doing a better job. Get the ball to Prohl. Good hands, turn to the outside, turns it up to the first down. Now they're going really quickly.
Yeah, you guys can't cheer. I can. It's not against my contract. I thought that was a really good move.
Well, Coach, I'd be curious on your thoughts when it comes to things like this, games like this, rivalry games, how they might affect players. Trubisky looking for Prohl, who is well defended on the perimeter that time.
You know, it should be the same for both teams. I mean, they've had a little bit more difficult year than we have. But we're playing for something big. And I got into a car coming up here after I went home and showered and listened to the radio. It said 14-0. I said, great. And then they told me it was 14-0 for the bad guys. And so I didn't feel as good then. But college athletics should never know.
And, Coach, sometimes you have a great week's practice leading up to the game. They just don't play well.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 for Trubisky from the 29. Fakes the pitch, bullets one over the middle, and he's got a first down inside the 20-yard line to Brandon Fritz, the tight end.
Mac, I had an uncle tell me, he said, you're stupid. As a high school coach, he said, your livelihood is on 15, 16, 17-year-olds. I went to college. He said, congratulations, you moved it up to 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah, but you're making a lot more than the word high school, too, so
that's right.
It helped. We used to say, Roy, that we're running around with our checks in our mouth. That's what's really bad. Don't drop the check.
Swing pass to Elijah Hood. Roy Williams in the booth with us, trying to bring a little luck to this Tar Heel offense. You've associated with Larry Fedora since he's been here. What type of coach do you see when you talk with Larry?
I love him, Death. I was assistant coach in high school football for 4 years. I love supporting him. I've never missed a home game unless I couldn't get back from Hawaii or Alaska or something. But he's got so much excitement. I like fast-paced basketball, and that's the way he plays football. I think he's just done a marvelous job here. He really has been unbelievable. And I'll tell you one story after this play.
It's Trubisky to throw.
He's got some space. He's got some space.
And he will take off close to the sticks.
How about this? And the guy standing to my right, Mac Brown, would have done this too. But we lose the national championship game this year on the last second shot. You have to do all the press and all this kind of stuff. But Larry Fedora was still standing with me in the locker room an hour and a half after the game was over with. And I love that. I mean, because he cares. And that's Mac Brown would do the same thing. And it's something that is special. You need to have a great relationship between football and basketball, and I think we do.
Big play coming up here on third down and 1.
We need to stick this one in here.
For North Carolina.
And let me say, for all these young coaches, Roy was a volunteer coach selling calendars when I got here. So they can think now that what happened with Roy.
That's right. Yeah, I was the part-time assistant. It's full-time job, part-time pay.
Larry Fedora upset. He's got to use a timeout here with 5:07 to play in the third quarter. Third down and 1 for the Tar Heels. Roy Williams in the booth with us. when you come back.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Pizza Hut. Bitter rivals agree. Pizza Hut wins. And Jiffy Lube. We do more than just oil changes, all in a jiffy.
This is Kirk Herbstreit and Mac Brown talking to each other back in the 90s. A lot darker hair, which, by the way, I joke around with Mac. I feel like since you left coaching, your hair is actually getting darker.
It is getting darker.
You're like the Benjamin Button of college football.
I can understand that.
Royce is still great. And he's doing great and undefeated. So that
right.
shows you stress either way.
Oh, my goodness. 3rd down and 1 for North Carolina. Roy Williams in the booth with us. Direct snap for the Tar Heels here, and nothing doing. Unable to move the chains. Close to the sticks was the run with TJ Logan, and Bradley Chubb was there for the stop.
Yeah, they're going to go for this because you got to get points here. You got to get 7. It's and if you don't make it, you still leave them in very difficult field position. But you got to send a message to your team. We're going to be aggressive in the second half, just like starting with the onside kick. Go for it and make 4th down. Could try to pull them off here.
Another direct snap, trick play. Switzer can throw. Switzer looking for Trubisky, and it's incomplete. Trickery on 4th down. Switzer's a decent passer in his career, but a little too out of the reach for Mitch Trubisky. And that'll take us to a timeout. Roy Williams, congratulations on the 7-0 start. Best of luck against Indiana.
Thank you very much.
North Carolina State is being issued a warning for sideline interference.
28-7 NC State. Fourth down and 2. They went with the reverse to try to pick up the 2 yards necessary. Tar Heels.
Yeah, it's a deception play. You've got Trubisky acting like the tight end. He walks over to the right. He delays. Looks like he's checking the play. He catches NC State off balance. Running back hands it to Switzer. Switzer throws it to Trubisky. And Jack Tocho, one of the smarter players on that NC State team, covers it like a blanket.
And now still North Carolina's defense in good position here with NC State pinned inside its own 10. And on the ground, you give it to Gillespie, and he's got a good run for 8 yards on 1st down. Say hello to the Duck. Aflac. Today's Aflac trivia question: who is tied with Mac Brown for the 2nd most wins in North Carolina history? I'd have you actually dive into your knowledge of your own record books to see if you can come up with the answer, right? You got a guess?
I don't know a lot about football, but I've got a pretty good idea about places I coached.
Back to Gillespie, and he's got the 1st down to the 21-yard line. You got a guess for me or not?
I would think it's Bill Dooley. He's one of the best coaches in the history of college football. We lost him within the year, and Coach Dooley was a great friend of mine and really got North Carolina on the map in football. Got a resurgence here.
Let's find out. Who's tied with Mac Brown for the 2nd most wins in North Carolina history? And sure enough, 69 wins for you and Bill Dooley. Gillespie again on 1st down for North Carolina State. Slipping tackles, and he's got another 1st down. So they go from inside their own 10-yard line, and a few plays later, they're out at the 37.
Yeah, Tyler Powell missed the tackle. He had a chance on the corner. They made him bounce outside, but really good run by Gillespie. Right now, NC State's doing exactly what they need to do. They're being physical. They're keeping the ball. They're letting the clock run. They're wearing down the UNC defense. And if you're Gene Chizik, you got to try to figure out ways to make a stop. Now you got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Hines was in motion. They stick with Matt Days on the ground, and he adds to the 225 rushing yards on the ground today for North Carolina State on offense. Again, a lot to be decided in this game for both of these teams. NC State needed to win to get to a bowl game for a 3rd consecutive year. Meanwhile, North Carolina needed to win today, and they needed some help from Virginia tomorrow to try to upset Virginia Tech to go to the ACC championship game. Days again.
big part of this game, Adam, has been NC State's got 260 yards on first down to UNC's 43.
They've been in front of the chains all day.
And then you make third down and short. It's a lot easier than you make convert third down and long. So they need to get them off the field.
Big third down here.
Now you're not going to have 2 plays to make it. You better look for Samuels as a guy in the slot because they love working him against linebackers. He or number 7, Hines, one of the 2 on the option routes.
3-man rush, 8 back in coverage. Finley incomplete. He's looking for Harmon. And that will bring up a 4th down with 1:21 to play in the 3rd.
Really good pressure by Mickey Bart that time because Harmon was open. Finley just didn't have enough time to set his feet and make the throw. Now the clock becomes an issue, so I don't kick it to Switzer if I'm NC State because he's so good at returning it. And North Carolina is going to have to go 1-minute tempo with really, really fast tempo the rest of the game. Good job punting it away.
Yep, and they get a great roll for A.J. Cole inside the 10. He absolutely just flipped the field for North Carolina State's defense. Excellent punt. 51-yard kick. And a reminder that rivalry weekend taking you all the way up to Columbus, Ohio. That'll be the set of game day at 7 a.m. on ESPN and on ABC at noon. Number 3, Michigan. Number 2, Ohio State. I talked with Bob Davie, who 10 years ago called that number 1 versus number 2, 42-39 victory for the Buckeyes. And I asked him, Bob, what do you remember the most about calling that game with Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit? And he said, we were in meetings with Jim Tressel. We were waiting for Tressel. Tressel walks in and has this horrified look on his face. That's how Bob and Brent found out that Bo Schembechler had passed away. It was actually from Jim Tressel telling them when he walked into the coaches meeting that Bo had passed away, and that was 10 years ago.
Coach Schembechler was a great friend of mine. He came here in 1990-something to do a game for ABC, and I had dinner with him. One of the best nights of my life. Good first down for North Carolina.
They get the yardage necessary from Switzer. Trubisky again. Switzer again. He's got a first down, sliding at the 30. The all-time leading pass catcher for the Tar Heels with a couple of grabs to get him out into good territory.
Still not out of the game when you move the ball as quickly and as well as North Carolina. If you're NC State, you got to be careful and not get too soft and vanilla and let them throw the ball downfield easily.
Play action fake. Trubisky. A little miscommunication with Prohl. Prohl was coming back to the ball, and Trubisky wanted to go deep. And there's a player injured for the Tar Heels, and it is Ryan Switzer, which is a major concern at any point if he's down on the deck. Senior out of Charleston, West Virginia. He said he didn't really understand why this rivalry was so intense until 2 years ago when North Carolina State won 35-7 over UNC. That's when he realized all the talk over the course of the week is going to be about this game and even afterwards. And he just kind of went down in a heap.
He's been such a fun player to watch, too.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we were talking to the NC State coaches, it was funny. They called him Slippery Grease Lightning because you just couldn't tackle him in space.
He's got 9 catches today. He's now the ACC leader with those 9 catches. And as a matter of fact, he's also set the new single season record for North Carolina for receptions. Dwight Jones had 85 5 years back, and Ryan Switzer has put together an 87 catch season with 9 more today. Good to see him at least for the most part walking under his own power, but clearly limping on his way to the sideline.
And Adam, we're not going to see many runs for North Carolina now. That's going to be a heavy pass load. You're only going to run or run a screen running play just to slow down that 4-man rush up front. 5-man line for NC State.
And we haven't seen a ton of that over the course today.
It's like they're going to bring him.
Kind of a run blitz look as TJ Logan has the toss and the first down. Driven out of bounds by Josh Jones. Good seal along the edge for the Tar Heel offense.
Yeah, good check by Trubisky. They brought the linebackers up inside, and you had Fernandez inside. Brandon Fritz, number 82, with a really good block on the corner. Good check.
Trubisky rolling out. Flag is thrown as he throws it away into the bench, and this might be a holding penalty.
Holding, number 52, offense, 10-yard penalty. First down.
Tommy Hatton got called for the holding penalty against North Carolina.
Yeah, Tommy just reaches out, grabs his jersey right at the end, and then just let him go, Tommy. Let him go. He's got you. It's already happened. Don't grab that jersey and hold at the end. They're going to call it every time when they see a jersey stretch. Good job by Monty Nelson pressuring the quarterback.
Fifth accepted penalty against Larry Fedora's team today. Ryan Switzer back in the game for North Carolina in the slot. Four-man rush again for the Tar Heels. It gets to Trubisky, and it's incomplete for Bug Howard. Darian Roseborough was in the face of Trubisky again with that four-man rush, and he could not connect cleanly with Howard.
Four-man rush has put pressure on Trubisky all day. He made an outstanding throw that time across his body, across the field, just a little bit high to a tall Howard.
It looks like a lineman for North Carolina is being attended to, and that's John Heck, the four-year starter, all ACC, 49th career start, the most on this roster. So he's being tended to.
A lot of things can happen in rival games in the fourth quarter, but we're sitting here with 6 seconds left, one quarter to get this thing turned around. If you're UNC, if you're NC State, you just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pounding the ball on offense and try to keep the ball in front of you, not give up anything easy on defense.
Good to see Heck back up on his feet. Let's go down to Molly McGrath.
Adam, it's been a tale of two sidelines here. I was on UNC side. It is eerily quiet down here. The players all keeping to themselves. Injuries not helping. On NC State side, all the players are staying very positive. They're still firing each other up. And as you remember, the coaches said the team that is most physical and most aggressive wins this game. So that's why the edge goes to NC State right now.
We've seen a lot more looseness. I think, Molly, would be an appropriate word to use for NC State. That's what Dave Doran talked to us about yesterday.
Play free. You
got to play free, and whatever that means, you know, however you want to, you maybe can't quantify it, but if you want to, right now the score would indicate that they've done so. Trubisky again, setting up the screen. Logan drilled. Good play by Niles Clark to close out the quarter. NC State needing a win to get to a bowl game in this 106th meeting between the Wolfpack and the Tar Heels. They've had the pep in their step. They've been the fiery team from the start of this ball game here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. They need a win to go to a bowl. North Carolina needs a comeback for the ages in this rivalry to even have a chance at the ACC championship game. Fourth quarter coming up.
At the end, Bracy Walker had blocked 2 punts to help us win the game. And he turned around and he said, well, the Mississippi fans can ring their cowbell now. That was the funniest thing because it was so loud in that Georgia Dome. All those cowbells, you could not hear anything but bells, bells, bells. So when we won, he said, well, I guess the Mississippi fans can ring their cowbells now. And with a big smile, he was a happy man.
Part of our AT&T Inside Access with the great James Sperling, one of the nicest guys that you'll ever get a chance to meet.
He's the best. He's just he's done a tremendous job here for years.
And handling a lot of different arenas of the facilities. Switzer slipped, and he made the grab at the 25-yard line. In that Peach Bowl, your team was down 14-0 at the halftime break. They came back to win. UNC needs a comeback for the ages if they want to stay in contention for the ACC championship game. They get 55 yards on one of their best plays of the day there. Just another four-man rush. Trubisky with time. Switzer again inside the 10 in front of Josh Jones. The all-time leading receiver in North Carolina history is stepping up now, still limping around on the field.
And if you're Dave Doeren, you're trying to keep from getting these guys in a position where they say, oh, no, not again. We've had so many close calls. So you got to step up and make a stop. Two really good plays by Trubisky.
And again, Switzer comes off the field. On the ground, T.J. Logan, the senior, down after a short gain. Grabbed by B.J. Hill. Second down and goal for North Carolina.
And Adam, you're not kicking field goals now. It's 4 downs. So you still got 3 downs to score from the 7-yard line. You can run or throw. Got your whole game plan.
Play fake. Trubisky. Low throw, sliding. Thomas Jackson for the touchdown. North Carolina much needed. His 4th of the season, 2-score game. Matt, I got to tell you, that didn't look like it was going anywhere, and it was in the perfect spot.
Play of a completed catch for a touchdown is under further review.
We'll review this play to make sure it was possession for the touchdown. Certainly looked like it from our end.
Well, and Thomas Jackson is a possession receiver down in the red zone. He does a tremendous job for him. The ball was thrown down under. The question's going to be, did he have his hands up under the ball or not? That's why we've got replay. Replay saves us to make sure we've got the right call on the field. Trubisky throws it over 2 defensive players' heads. Did he get his hands under right here? Looks like he did. Don't know that they're going to see enough that they can overturn this call because it's called a touchdown.
Yeah, you've heard the term enough, indisputable video evidence. Is there indisputable evidence to show that it was an incomplete pass? And I would think if it's not confirmed, it would likely stand.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
Thomas Jackson has touchdowns against Florida State, Virginia, Duke, and now against North Carolina State. And that one was maybe one of the biggest ones of his season. They go 93 yards down the field. A penalty marker is thrown on the extra point. If it's an offsides, it'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Offsides. Defense. Penalties declined. Point was good. Timeout.
So that'll take us to a timeout. That was a much needed score for Larry Fedora's crew. They were down 21 points to start this game. They're within 14, as close as they've been since that early surge from the pack. Welcome back to ESPN's Rivalry Series presented by Jiffy Lube. Ryan Switzer, who was injured at one point on the drive, was back on and had 86 of the 89 reception yards on the drive from Mitch Trubisky. And we go down to the sidelines and check in with Molly McGrath.
Yeah, Adam, Switzer limped off, doubled over in pain. It looked like he was crying and he was very emotional. Now you remember medical training staff tended to a right foot injury earlier in the half. UNC doesn't release his injury info, but he can't even fully put weight on that right foot, so not looking good for Switzer, Adam.
Thanks very much, Molly. That's a crucial thing to keep an eye out for Ryan Switzer, who's been targeted 13 times today.
And Adam, for NC State, Dave Doeren had them ready to play. They've had a great game plan. They've got to continue to be aggressive now. They can't back off and just try to kill the clock. 14 points is not enough. So go back and just be you. He said play free. They've done that. They'll need to do that here late 4th quarter.
Nyheim Hines on a good kickoff. We'll see it sail over his head. Out to the 25 comes NC State. This was before the last North Carolina drive. Remember, Mac Hollins broke his collarbone against Miami. A big play threat. You know he'd want to be on the field right now, but he can't be. He fired up the troops before that drive, and Ryan Switzer was the biggest key leading to the Jackson touchdown from Trubisky. And let's see if the defense responds the same way for North Carolina after Mac Hollins got him going.
The leaders on your sideline are so important. So NC State, you leaders, you seniors, step it up. North Carolina, step it up. This is what makes college football so much fun, Adam. We've got about 14 minutes left of a great ball game.
106th meeting all time between the Pack and the Heels. Finley off play action. Looking downfield, and a little bit of jostling going on between the safety Dominique Green and Thaddeus Moss. They were battling there, and Dominique Green, a veteran safety, with the defense.
This is another play that Boise used. Quarterback rolls right, tight end blocks, slips back under and comes back underneath. But very, very well covered by Green, the safety. Checking the play. Probably going option route to one of the backs, or to one of the slots.
Toss play running left. Here is Gillespie. A flag is thrown. And a short pickup. This might be a holding penalty against Braylon Cherry, as he was out on the perimeter.
Holding, number 13. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Second down.
And Cherry, I think you heard the crowd reaction when I think everybody saw 13 trying to make a block on that side.
Really good play by boundary corner Des Lawrence. He slips inside the block.
The penalty will be declined by North Carolina. Third down.
Yeah, you can't do anything else but hold him. Then you hold him and let him make the play. So, big stop for North Carolina.
And Eli Drinkwitz has to draw something up for third down. Interesting that Larry Fedora's sideline did decline the penalty. They want to try to get off the field right now on third down and medium.
I think once again you've got no backs, so you're either running option routes inside or quarterback draw. Got to make 7.
We'll go with the tunnel screen underneath, looking for space, and a first down for Braylon Cherry, made up for the holding penalty by taking it to the 42-yard line. 15 yards to move the chains.
Really good call by Drinkwitz, the offensive coordinator for NC State. Got empty backfield. They throw quickly outside. Comes back in on the screen. Very good play.
Des Lawrence, after the play, was being tended to on the sidelines on the near side of the field. Their veteran cornerback will step aside.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by Chevrolet. More 2016 J.D. Power Dependability Awards than any other brand. And Novartis.
This game's part of the Waffle House Waffle Wager. It's the 4th year they've done it. The winning team gets free waffles, hash browns, and coffee for fans in their home city. And to date, the Waffle Wager has served nearly 8,000 waffles, Molly.
Adam, it's a good thing I stretched out my stomach yesterday during Thanksgiving, because I was given this big plate of waffles. One of these fan bases are going to want it, and this is the first time I think I've ever had Waffle House in the daylight.
No one eats Waffle House before 2 a.m. more often than not, I think.
Fans will love it.
Cash donation made to the winning team's general scholarship fund as well. Good stuff here in the 4th quarter. First down for North Carolina State after they converted on 3rd down and 7. Kason Collins makes the hit at the line of scrimmage on Matt Days. Still plenty of time in this game, but can the Tar Heels stop the Wolfpack offense? Because for the most part, they've had issues today.
Well, and you can see that Kason Collins up in the line of scrimmage. This is where your coordinators make their money. Gene Chizik decided we haven't been stopping the run. We got to get more people at the line of scrimmage. So let's see on a 2nd down and long what they do. Really been impressed today, too, with Eli Drinkwitz and his plan on offense for NC State. Here's where you make your money, Adam. Got to stay on the field if you're NC State. Got to get off the field if you're North Carolina.
Days to the edge, slips one tackle. Big hit, though, from Jeremiah Clark to help stack him up for a loss of 1. 3rd down and 11 coming up for North Carolina State here.
Where this is tough for North Carolina State, you got to be aggressive on a 3rd down and 11, but you can't turn the ball over. So you need to stay on the field. 2 good plays in a row by the UNC defense.
Here we go. Big 3rd down both sides.
One back in the backfield. No, now it's empty. Could be your tunnel screen again. Could be option routes. Could be quarterback draw. Those are about your options. Three-man rush for UNC.
Pressure coming. It's still got to Ryan Finley. And Malik Carney, the second leading sack man on this team, with maybe the most important North Carolina defensive play of the day so far. And now Ryan Switzer gets a shot to return a punt for North Carolina after the Carney sack.
And once again, it was a great sack coming off the corner. Looked like he was untouched. Big play for North Carolina. Now don't kick it to Switzer again. Kick it out of bounds.
A.J. Cole, not a great kick. An opportunity for Switzer. And he gets taken down at the 39-yard line by Tyler Griffiths, the long snapper. North Carolina scored on its last drive. They have decent field position to start the next one when you come back. Live from Columbus, number 3 Michigan, number 2 Ohio State. College game day at 7 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN. Special 5-hour edition leading you all the way up to noon when you flip over to ABC to watch Michigan and Ohio State from the shoe in Columbus. Huge game tomorrow, major playoff and Big Ten implications in the Eastern Division in that contest.
Got a corner blitz from the boundary.
North Carolina State bringing some heat to that side, and Jared Fernandez, big play on defense from the veteran middle linebacker. It'll be a loss of 2 officially on the play for North Carolina to start this drive.
Good job by Dave Huxtable, the defensive coordinator at NC State, because last time they played vanilla. They brought 4, they brought 3. Carolina blocked them better. That time they brought the corner blitz from the boundary, and McLeod was up near the line of scrimmage, stopped the run. Good first down stop.
See if they go through the air here. Trubisky will take off, and he gets hit at the 38-yard line by Sean Boone, the safety. Third down coming up here.
You need to make the first down, but with over 9 minutes left, you're still going to punt unless you get it down to 4th and very short. You can't give NC State another score. Looks like NC State may be coming at them.
Third down and 11, 4-down territory in this field position or no?
No, I don't think so. Not unless you're 4th and 1.
Okay.
4th and 1.5 too. NC State's bringing 5 with a cross stunt in the middle.
And Trubisky fires close to the sticks. Switzer makes the catch at the 46, and this is potentially 4-down territory because it's 4th and short. But is this too long for you, or do you want to punt right now?
No, I think with the short call here, you go for it, because you got to depend on your defense anyway. And that was a good throw, just short. Looks like he caught it because he's got his hands underneath, but you got to make 4th and 3 or 4 here.
And the replay booth is going to review this play.
The ruling on the previous play of a completed catch is under further review.
Did he complete the process of the catch down to the ground?
And Adam, I said this was close for me. If you're sitting there and it's 2 yards, it's not in question. 1 yard. At 4, it's a little bit tougher.
They ruled this a catch on the field. Looks like he had his hands under the ball. It can hit the ground, but if possession is already locked in, it can hit the ground. But if the ground has anything to do with the ball moving or taking possession away from the receiver, then it would likely be ruled an incomplete pass. So this is very close to tell, and I don't know if there's anything indisputable to overturn the ruling on the field, which was a catch.
I think it's very much like the touchdown pass to Thomas Jackson. I don't see enough there to overrule it. And that's what has to happen. If they can't tell that it wasn't what it was called on the field, then they're going to let it stand.
After review, the ruling on the field stand. 4th down.
So now it's 4th down and 3. Obviously, if that was overturned, you're likely to punt on 4th down and 11. But 4th down and 3 coming up here with 8:41 to play. It's a 2-touchdown game right now. And looks like the offense is going to stay on the field. They've gone for it on 4th down already once today. They're 5 of 13 on the season.
Well, and part of the decision might have been Larry and Gene Chizik talking about we're having trouble stopping them.
Sure.
If your defense is dominating right now, you could punt. But in this situation, they need to try to get points quickly.
Remember, the 4th down and 2 inside the 10 was the failed trick play.
It's like they're going to play with 4 rushes.
And on the slant for Bug Howard, he has got the catch for a first down at the 48 in Wolfpack territory. And the Tar Heels stay on the field on offense.
Was a slant to a tall guy. Buck's 6'5" senior. You usually throw to the older guys when you need it on 4th down.
Well, he's off the field right now. He was hyped up. I wonder if they're going to review this as well.
On the previous play of the completed catch. She's under further review.
Yep, they're going to review this one too because it was similar, kind of low throw. They're going to see if Bug Howard had possession all the way through, and this is maybe even bigger than the prior one that they reviewed for Switzer.
Now this is huge. It's so important that I understand completely why they're taking it upstairs.
Again, do you see the ball come loose at any point as he's trying to absorb the hit from the ground? That's part of the process, the axioms of catches. Do you have 2 hands and possession of the football, or just possession in general? It can be with 1 hand. Do you have a foot in bounds, which obviously is in the middle of the field? And do you survive the hit from a defender or a hit from the ground and complete the process all the way through? Again, is there anything there to overturn? Is there anything indisputable to overturn the call on the field, which was a catch for a 1st down?
The only thing with this one, unlike the other one, as we looked at it, it looked like the ball did turn as it was underneath. So the officials have a tougher call on this one, I think, than the other 2.
I agree. I just don't know if you can see clearly on a replay. And here's the ruling.
After review, the ruling on the field stand. 1st down.
So it is a 1st down catch. And those were 2 very close calls. I think for the most part, just based on the video evidence that the replay booth is given, it'd be difficult to overturn the calls in the field. So that's why both calls were stands.
Yes, we saw it turn, but we didn't see it hit the ground.
Sure.
If it doesn't hit the ground, it's still a catch. Huge play in this game. Again, if you're Dave Huxtable, you're going to start being more aggressive.
Play action fake. Trubisky steps away from the pressure, looking for Howard. And he's got it! Touchdown, North Carolina.
Well, Trubisky's shown us the last 2 drives why everybody's talking about him being a top pro prospect. A lot of pressure. He steps up. This is a perfect throw. Out of the reach of McLeod for the touchdown.
A perfectly thrown 48-yard touchdown pass from Trubisky to Bug Howard. Jonathan Jamal Howard playing his final game at Kenan Memorial Stadium. His mom, Veronica, gave him the name Bug when he was a toddler. He's able to slip through and make the grab on the Trubisky throw. From Columbus, Ohio, ABC at noon Eastern tomorrow. Jiffy Lube Rivalry Series continues with one of the biggest rivalries in all of sports. Ohio State and Michigan. Michigan wins, they go to the Big Ten championship game. If Ohio State wins, they'll wait for the result of Penn State and Michigan State. If Ohio State wins that game and Penn State wins, it'll be Penn State going to the Big Ten title game. Mitch Trubisky having a huge second half, trying to get this team back into it, and they're within a score for the first time since they trailed 21-0 on an early blitzkrieg from North Carolina State.
And you started so strong with Dave Doeren and NC State. You've got to restart now and try to take the ball the length of the field and either get points to make it a 2-score game or keep the ball for the rest of the game.
Let's toss to the studio stand, Brett.
All right, guys, your game getting tighter there. Houston and Memphis also tightening up. Greg Ward to Chance Allen. Houston trying to come back against Memphis. It's 34-30 right now. And while you continue tackling those leftovers, we got college basketball coming up next on the menu. Battle for Atlanta's championship. Louisville and Baylor getting it on.
Stan, thanks very much. It's been a muted crowd at most points of this day for North Carolina. NC State fans in red, Tar Heel fans in blue. 106th meeting all time has turned into a 7-point game in the 4th. Finley will keep it. And Ryan Finley to the 30-yard line, hit by Malik Carney on a good run of 5 yards. It's been so tight all season. Dave Doeren said that this has been the most emotionally challenging year for him. Kyle Bamberg misses the 33-yard field goal try, which would have beat Clemson on the road. They end up losing in overtime. They had the chance against Boston College in a tight game. They give up the game-winning drive. And then Sean Boone had the interception in the end zone against Florida State. Frustrated, Florida State would get a Travis Rudolph touchdown to go ahead in that game on that drive. And now in another tight game as Ryan Finley goes to the sideline. McClendon. And not sure if there was some miscommunication with Stephon Lewis or Braylon Cherry, but he throws to no receiver in particular.
And Gene Chizik brought the blitz from the field with M.J. Stewart that time. Now you've got a huge third down. Important play in this ball game. You're Dave Doeren. You got to get confidence for your team. It's one of the things you've been lacking at the end of close games. They've played so well in this game. They've got to step up and make plays here late in this game.
Loudest it's been all day in Chapel Hill.
Looks like Gene Chizik's going to bring them.
Blitz coming for the Tar Heels. McClendon steps up, fires, and it is incomplete for Jalen Samuels. That'll bring up fourth down.
And you know, Dave Doeren told us that we just got to make the layups. And here's an older player that's their second leading receiver, a perfect pass. Jalen Samuels had to catch that ball. Good call, crossing route, man coverage, good protection, everything's good. Make the plays, guys. You got to make plays when they're there.
Ryan Switzer back to return. Had a decent one on his last opportunity.
Don't kick it to him. Kick it out of bounds.
Good punt by A.J. Cole, high and deep with hang time on a 52-yard boomer to flip the field inside the 20 for North Carolina. Great kick by the sophomore out of College Park, Georgia. And now with inside of 7 minutes to play, it's Mitch Trubisky.
And Mitch has been hot this second half. He has been the difference in this ball game for North Carolina's offense getting back in the ball game.
Ryan Finley headed back towards the locker room now for North Carolina State on that first down run. He took quite the hit from Malik Carney. So now he's going to head back. McClendon is more than capable to handle North Carolina State's offense. But right now the defense on the field against Trubisky and the Heels. First down run for Elijah Hood, trying to cut back and muscle back towards the line of scrimmage. Good play by Bradley Chubb. There'll be no gain on the play.
Well, you like Chubb. Came in at 230, ends up 275. The guy, he can play at the line of scrimmage as a physical run stopper, also rush the passer.
Chubb being tended to here after that play.
Good job by the whole NC State defense, turning Hood back up inside with a lot of gang tackling and pursuit.
Chubb had a lot of weight on him from some of his teammates. He kind of landed on his back and had a couple of teammates on top of him. Remember, his cousin is Nick, who had that huge game for Georgia in the opener against North Carolina. If he runs for 92 tomorrow against Georgia Tech, he'll be the second leading rusher in Georgia history.
Since these teams don't like each other very much, I'm sure he enjoyed watching his cousin run for a lot of yards against UNC.
Chubb back up on his feet, and he gives a good jog to the sideline. Tyrone O'Reilly will check in on the front line for North Carolina State, at least for a play.
They're going to need him back in there. You're sitting 6:36 left, Adam. You got to win to go to a bowl. It's on the line right now if you're NC State.
Penalty marker comes flying in.
Full start. Number 84, offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Can't have it if you're North Carolina. You can't have those penalties at this point in the game. And it's a tight end that's in motion, so or a receiver, so he's probably anxious because the ball's coming to him. And that happens some. But senior receiver can't do it.
6 penalties against Larry Fedora's team today. Second down and 15 as we approach 6 minutes to play. Play action fake. Trubisky for Switzer again. Travius Wright dragging him towards the sideline. And they'll mark him out at the 28-yard line, which was the line to gain. They pick up 15.
Dave Huxtable brought some pressure that time. He wasn't sitting back, but a really good job by the offensive line at North Carolina, especially Elijah Hood stepping up to give Switzer a chance to get open. So Hood stepped right up inside. He's cleaning up the big tackles as they're trying to get loose on the guards inside.
Now, he was very close to the 28-yard line, and Switzer, who was fired up, is now kind of hopping around. Molly told us about that right foot issue that's been bothering him since earlier in this half. So he's going to come off the field.
First down.
It is a first down after the spot was looked at by this officiating crew. And Switzer, with his 13 catches, goes to the sideline now.
And Adam, if you're Dave Doran, you're telling your guys, we're ahead, guys. We've got the 7-point lead, not them. Make a play. Knock a ball loose. Get a turnover. And we can finish this game.
It's Jackson in motion. Pocket collapsing on Trubisky, and down he goes back at the 21-yard line. Bradley Chubb, who came right back into the game after being off the field for a couple, comes in and makes the stop. Ryan Finley coming back on the field for North Carolina State.
And this was a delayed blitz where they had 4, but they brought a 5th guy, and he came in late and got to the quarterback. Good job by the defensive front at NC State.
Second down and 17. Swing it out for T.J. Logan. Logan will work back close to the original line of scrimmage. Sean Boone drove him out of bounds. So it'll set up third down and about 10 here.
And what a hit by Sean Boone. He's the safety. He comes all the way across the field from the middle of the field. Big running backs turning up, and he hits Logan, and they have a collision.
Third and 10.
Again, this is where Dave Huxtable makes his money. He's showing an all-out blitz. Are they going to just rush 3 because they've done this some, or is he coming after him with everything? I think they rush 3.
And they're sending 3 defensive backs beyond the sticks. Trubisky against the 3-man rush, trying to get away. He needs the 40-yard line, and he's got it. Tried to get to the 38. He got there and more, and then a penalty marker is thrown as he gets to the sideline. Nick McLeod was chasing him down. 16-yard run
After
plus the
play,
flag.
personal foul, late hit out of bounds, defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
A net play of 31 and a mistake by the true freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Well, he's frustrated because they should have it. They've got a great defensive call. They've covered everybody. He barely gets outside, and then he's hit on the sideline. And if it's probably not the quarterback, they may not call that because it's really, really close. But they're going to take care of that quarterback on the boundary.
That was pretty close. Pressure on Trubisky. Launches for Howard. And out of bounds, incomplete. That time McLeod had the coverage on the sidelines. Very tight on Bug Howard. Good play by the defender.
UNC still got 2 timeouts with 3:52 left. They've got their entire playbook. They don't have to panic. They can run it or throw it. And if you're NC State, the best part of your team has been your defense. So, Adam, you want them out there to try to win the game. Win the game on defense if you're NC State. This is a strength of UNC against the strength of NC State down the stretch.
Blitz coming right up the middle against Trubisky. Flag is thrown as well. He'll take off running and step out at the 31-yard line. That was the line to gain, but we have to check the penalty flag at the 45.
Holding, number 68, offense, 10-yard penalty, second down.
Lucas Crowley, the center. That's where the blitz was coming for North Carolina State, straight up the gut that time.
And these guys are worn out. It's late in the game. Sometimes you get a little bit sloppy, and you just grab. And it was Moore that was coming with the pressure, and Arius Moore, one of the better defensive players for NC State. Be smart. Don't try to get it all back at once.
Second down and 20. Trubisky will throw it away. Now third down and 20 I would imagine you have 2 plays to pick up 20 yards here. I can't imagine this isn't 4-down territory. Although, in a 7-point game with the timeouts, maybe that changes the way you think on the sideline.
No, you try to get it. Because you're down on this end of the field anyway. You've got to try to get them off. That was an excellent defensive job by NC State of seeing the screen, smelling it out. Quarterback pressure by Nelson, and Moore had the screen covered up. Good job by Trubisky throwing it away. Try to get half of it here and then try to go for 4th and 10. Bringing them all.
Yep, pressure coming. Trubisky wants it all. Looking for Prohl, and it's incomplete. That would have been good enough for a 1st down had they connected on that play. And it's 4th down and 20.
And here's a coach's decision now. It looks like Larry Fedora is going to go for it. If you're trusting your defense, you can punt it because you've got 2 timeouts left in your pocket. Near miss. Got to make that play down the stretch. I didn't have many good calls for 4th and 20.
I don't think a lot of people do that. 4th down and 20. They need the 31 of North Carolina State to stay on the field offensively. Still 3:16 to play.
And interestingly enough, NC State's coming after him.
Blitz coming. One-on-one for Howard. Dives. Did he hold on? Incomplete. It is ruled incomplete at the 21-yard line.
Ruling on the
and
field
North
is an
Carolina
incomplete
State
pass. 1st down.
Good pressure by NC State. I like the call by Huxtable. Ball's just a little bit overthrown. Nearly a great catch. Better coverage that time by McLeod. Your North Carolina or your UNC, you've got your 2 timeouts. Now you got to have a stop, and you'll probably have to use those timeouts and take one more shot at a drive if you can stop NC State. If you're NC State, Adam, kill the clock. Finish this game on offense. Don't let UNC have the ball back.
Bug Howard, after that extension to try to make the catch, was a little shaken up on the way to the sidelines and very frustrated as well. 3:10 to play, and Ryan Finley is not in the field. Molly McGrath, you have more.
That's right. Finley was going through concussion protocol. They gave him a vision test, and he was immediately taken back to the locker room for further evaluation. He obviously passed because they gave him his helmet back. We'll see if he goes in, Adam.
Yeah, it's McClendon who was on the last drive most of the way back in at quarterback. Days runs it. Smith makes the stop for a gain of about a yard.
North Carolina.
North Carolina will use one of its 2 final timeouts here. We'll step aside. Matt Days, first 1,000-yard rusher for North Carolina State since T.A. McClendon in 2002. He's had a big day today, approaching 100 yards. He's got 2 touchdowns, and as Mac talked about, NC State needs to run out this clock. Matt Days is going to be an important cog on this drive. That's going to be the case. McClendon on the keep to the edge, down to the 45-yard line. North Carolina has one more timeout. And let's see if they hold on to it. No, they'll use it.
Timeout, North Carolina. That's their 3rd and final. Charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
30-second timeout. Gene Chiswick's defense in the last 5 games, not counting this one, has allowed an average of less than 7 points per second half. His defense is locked down to allow just 7 in the second half today, but they need a stop right now on 3rd down to try to get the ball back. No timeouts left for North Carolina. They cannot stop the clock again. It's 3rd down and 5 for NC State. McClendon is still in at quarterback for Finley.
I think we see McClendon or Days running it.
It is McClendon. Space on that side of the field, and he's got the 1st down. Tackled by Donnie Miles at the 30-yard line. They move the chains.
It's a huge 1st down because now you've got North Carolina without any timeouts. Just kind of a quarterback counter. He steps to his left. He looks like he's going to throw the screen, comes back around at the big left guard, pulling up inside for a great block. What a call by Drinkwitz.
And Mac, now they're at the point where a 1st down essentially ends this game for North Carolina State. If they can get a 1st down here, that would essentially put this game to rest.
Your NC State, take care of the ball. Cover it up with both arms.
Days gets the carry, hit by Smith. They cannot stop the clock.
They're going to get up slowly. They're going to walk back to the huddle. No penalties on offense. If you're UNC, you got to knock a ball loose, strip the ball loose. But you're trying to kill this clock on offense.
Wolfpack goes to a bowl game for a third straight year with a win. North Carolina needed a win today and a Virginia Tech loss tomorrow to go to the ACC championship game. If the Tar Heels lose this game, Virginia Tech is automatically going to face Clemson in the ACC title game because they have the tiebreak with that 34-3 victory earlier this season. Movement before that play off the right side. It looked like Will Richardson.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You can't do that on offense. Sit in there and be smart. They had it down to 3 seconds. The quarterback handled it right. Kill the clock.
A reminder that tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern time on ESPN from Columbus, College Game Day 5-hour edition, Michigan, Ohio State. The game at noon on ABC. We don't have to build it up for you pretty much any more than you're going to hear for the next 21 hours or so. Here's Days. He gets hit at the 28 by Smith. So here we go. Third down. North Carolina State with a first down can put this game away. A field goal from here would be about 45 yards, which would be the longest try for Connor Haskins, a transfer who does have a 50-yarder in his Division II career.
This is going to be down to where I think they can run it out. Just be smart. They're either going to hand it to Days or McClendon's going to keep it. You don't want to worry about the exchange, but run it down as far as you can and run the ball.
Here is Days. He gets stopped. Andre Smith on the stop. And now this is an interesting scenario because the play clock just started moving. I mean, it is almost identical with game clock and play clock. And NC State can essentially take a snap and finish off this game. And North Carolina State is going to come away with an upset win over its rivals from 23 miles away in North Carolina.
Great job by Dave Dorian and his staff today. Dave had them ready to play. He said play free, play easy, be confident. They were physical. They were the more physical team through most of this ball game. Good win for NC State.
(28-21) North Carolina State. An impressive win for the Wolfpack today. And for a third straight year, Dave Doran's team is heading to a bowl game. Larry Fedora's team will be denied a slot in the ACC championship. On an emotional day for these two teams, for the coaching staffs, an emotional time for us as well. At ESPN, we're so lucky that we get a chance to come and watch a fun rivalry game between two teams that make it entertaining for us on the field. Appreciate all of our crew here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina as well today for sacrificing their time with the holiday season, taking their time to be away from their families and put together this broadcast and the entirety of our college football weekend on ESPN. Just some of the great members of our crew, camera people, the people that work in our trucks, people that are down in the field, audio, our fine producer Pete Delaria and our director Aladdin Freeman. We've got the best support crew in the business as well. Our spotter Bill Garrity, our statisticians all year, Scott Lightman and Ed Svita. Mac, it's been a pleasure. Molly, it's been awesome working with you guys all season. Our regular season comes to an end today. I love you both very much. We're going to have some fun in Detroit for the MAC championship next week.
Should be great. Big game tonight with Toledo versus Western Michigan to see who plays in that one against Ohio next week. But what a day of football tomorrow. We've got great football this afternoon, tonight, but tomorrow, great rival game. NC State played great. UNC comes back, but just not enough.
So happy that we could be here today with the rest of our crew. For Mac Brown, Molly McGrath, the outstanding, dynamic women and men of our crew here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina State comes away with a win, 28-21 over UNC. Adam Amin saying so long. College Basketball Live scoreboard coming up. Bradley Chubb, the nation's leader in tackles for loss, was a major cog in a physical defensive game for North Carolina State. They get the upset win over their rivals from 23 miles down the road. 28-21 over UNC, and for a third consecutive year, North Carolina State is headed to a bowl game under Dave Doeren. North Carolina denied its chance to go to the ACC championship game. Adam Amin, Mac Brown, wrapping things up. We knew what was at stake for both of these teams. Dave Doeren, when we got a chance to talk with him earlier in the week, he said, we got to get back to basics. And we were kind of curious, what does that mean exactly? All the things that he gave us checked off the list for a big win today.
Yeah, they had to run the ball well. They had to protect the ball. Only had the one turnover early that really hurt them, and they had to put pressure on the quarterback, Trubisky, and they did that. He also said play free, have some fun, because they've been in so many tight games like East Carolina, Florida State, and Clemson, where they didn't just quite win. But the guy today that everybody talked about going into the game was Matt Days. Matt Days had to play well today for NC State to win. The guy's physical up inside. He's patient. He's got good vision. He can break tackles in the open field. But very impressive today in pass protection. UNC brings the all-out blitz. He steps right up and takes them on and gives Finley a chance to throw to Louis way downfield for a huge gain. But he was also a decoy in this one because the Wildcat, he ran off tackle numerous times at him, but this time he hands it to Samuels, who has an easy escape outside and runs in for another NC State score.
An emotional day for Matt Days, a senior playing his final regular season game. His career is extended after 104 rushing yards today. His head coach was with Molly McGrath after the game.
Coach, with this win over a rival at their house, your team is now bowl eligible. How satisfying is that after such an emotional season?
It's hard to even describe right now. I mean, the emotions this team's been through and the staff and the way we've hung together. I'm so proud of these kids and these players, and it's what we need to be. We need to be winners. And they showed that today. They showed heart and courage and all the things that we talk about, and they won the game because they played hard and they earned it.
You ran over to Matt Days, gave him a big hug, lifted him in the air. How crucial is a leader like him in a really emotional game like this?
Matt didn't practice all week. He was hurt. He showed up and he was ready to go. He's got the biggest heart. Whoever gets him in the NFL is getting a heck of a player and one of the best persons on the planet.
Well, congratulations on the win, Coach. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you. Go Pack.
I mean, you could clearly tell how emotional he was as North Carolina State, in one of the most taxing seasons of Dave Doeren's career as a coach, battles back to bowl eligibility with a win over its rival, 28-21.